Fellow Americans, I'm getting cooked alive. I will have to say that this past couple of days, pretty rough, pretty hot out here in the middle of nowhere. I now mentioned before, hey, this is pretty much my own pocket dimension. Yeah, kinda is, but you know, that doesn't mean I'm not immune to whatever might be happening. Also, I don't know how the tracking is gonna work today because I didn't turn on the lights. I'm only using the ring light of the camera, so we'll see what happens. I think it's gonna be rather different. Maybe I should. Maybe I should turn it on, right? Maybe I should. It's fine. It's fine. We will survive probably. We also know this is gonna be a fantastic day. When the first thing I see while I'm setting up is just the spam message on Twitch. Hey, that's pretty bad. I mean, can't create today, follow today. Oh, brother, you have crazy potential. Yeah, no, I've seen these people before. Get them out of here. I don't like them. They had to go back. They also had to go back. But let us not forget, and today it is the 4th of July, so we celebrate 2026 years of America, or something like that. I think that's close enough. Of course, you see people complaining all the time. Oh, but the Americans this and that. Shut up. Just shut up. You don't have to be annoying every single day of the year. You can be just a normal person for once. I promise you will be okay. Well, some people are never okay, are they? There's not too much we can do about those types, but I guess that's not really surprising either. Ah, God damn it! Sometimes I wish it was American, even if only because of the AC. That's banned here or anything like that. It's that I'm kind of broke. I will also say that this it's not a good building to have something like that because the building is actually kind of bad too. So it's a very bad combination. Trust me, if I could, I would have AC for sure. It's actually not as bad, okay? There, there are some years, I would say most years, we don't reach these high temperatures anyway. I know some people accuse this of being third worldism. I don't think it's quite the same. But I understand where they're coming from. That is somewhat fair. That is somewhat fair for sure. America, the land of the free. I do think that to some extent, being free is a state of mind. It doesn't matter what they tell you from these strange locations in governments and whatnot. You cannot do this, you cannot do that. You can just be like, you know what, you cannot tell me what to do. It may have terrible consequences for you, I'm gonna be honest. But being free doesn't mean you're immune to consequences, in my opinion. So it's probably fine. It's kind of my Braveheart moment, I guess. It cannot tell me what to do. And that's actually kind of fair, because these people, these strange lunatics we talk about very often, they're not going to be more virtuous than you anyway. So why should we be beholden to their whims and desires? That doesn't make any sense. I saw the end of stream button and that was really appealing for a second. That would be bad. That was not the intention. What is going on here? I'm getting silenced by myself. Not like this. The truth is painfully obvious most of the time. And at the end of the day, you can just do things. I know it sounds kind of crazy, maybe, but it's true. You can just do things. You will be. I can say you will be okay. In many locations, you will be not okay. But it's fine. I think it's fine. That might be me being a little bit too much of a rebel talking. But hey, it's still working, okay? Could I end up in jail? Yeah, we don't talk about that. We don't talk about that. I guess I could. I'm not saying anything insane though, but and that still doesn't matter, does it? Oh, just goddamn it! I'm just sweating all around. It's so annoying. Even the mass pad feels kind of gross. Oh, horrible, 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 horrifying even. I don't know. I don't know. Of course, there are things you cannot do, right? They're very American, like weapon stuff. It's kind of disappointing. It's kind of disappointing. I think weapons are cool. I know there's some people who say, oh, but maybe that makes societies more prone to violence. Well, to some extent, I guess, but is self-protection really that wrong? I guess. I guess, if we go with what the UK says, I guess it is too bad, it is too dangerous. Of course, they're also very insane, so they would really care. I wouldn't say so. I guess I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself here. It will happen again. You know me, I get passionate about the stuff. I get passionate about the things that I'm passionate about, which, hey, I didn't say anything. I literally didn't say anything, because that's painfully obvious to literally everybody, right? If you're painful, if you're passionate about the stuff, you're gonna be passionate about it. That's it. It's not a tip. It's just how the cookie crumbles, as they say. Not really that surprising. It's fine. Let me get some music running. First of all, we don't have really anything too patriotic. I do fear the copyright gods. That is for sure. Then we're gonna go with the classic Pokemon music because it works. It'd be funny to have. No, it's not AI. It's not AI. It's voice roid. It's not the same. It'd be funny to have a military song sung by anime women, but yeah, no, that may be too close to the song. Maybe we shouldn't do something like that. You know, that'd be cool. There's some that are usually, or they were at least usually, in my YouTube algo. Actually, pretty fun. But it's fine. It's fine, I guess. So, what do we have for today? Well, since we're being very American, the first thing we have to do is obviously plug on commies, which is, I guess, nothing new. We'll see that nothing is gonna change too much today, aside from the part that makes me a little bit blonde. Don't mind me. I'm the super Aryan for today. So we have here a tweet by Bobstonox, as we'll soon see. More like Boobstonox, am I right, fellas? Sam Piker has just raised $54,000 for Francesca Hong, PSA candidate for Wisconsin governor. The Wisconsin Democratic primary is August 11th. You might be thinking, okay, alright, that's normal stuff? Maybe? No. No, it's not normal. That's the fun part. It's not normal. Because what do we have here in the background? Well, we have some stingy stuff with Ukrainian bomber here. Commie propaganda. Some strange stuff around here. This guy is out of frame. Very good. What about this? Hey, what about this thing? I don't know if I want to zoom in too much because, of course, he can be the guy, but I cannot be the guy because I oppose the powers that be. Hey, that looks odd. What is that? Well, we can tell what this is. It's Poppy Diaper Furry Fetish Art. Being a commie is not enough. Being a proud terrorist is not enough. Maybe being the Dark Shocker is not enough. What about being the Poppy Diaper Boy? The Poppy Diaper! It's the Poppy Ping! He's gonna poop! It's so disgusting. It's so disgusting. It is insane. Oh my god, it's so crazy. It's so insane to me. Oh, brother. How the hell? It's not that the guy had that made for himself, because I actually don't know if that's the case. Why do you have that on your streamer room? Why? It's so strange. It's so old. Of course, that must mean he appreciates it at least a little bit. Why? Why, Hassan Piker? Why do you want to be the poopy boy? Well, I actually don't need to know why. I actually don't care why. I'm just here just to laugh at you. Because you're the poopy boy now. The poopy boy! Ah, it feels so good to laugh at the filthy gummy. For sure. And glow endorsement. Yeah, they have a zoom-in of the poopy diaper. My goodness. Oh, the poopy man king. Fantastic. I hope the mic actually caught the claps. It usually doesn't. I think it did this time around. I think it was loud enough. The poopy man. Absolutely hilarious. The gift that keeps on giving. Every single time. Oh my god. I'm actually glad to be alive today. And also I'm glad to be alive today. It's so funny. It's so funny. But we also had to have a more serious conversation about poop, okay? It's a pretty shitty situation around, apparently. Israel Forbes. Poop parasite causes hundreds of cases of explosive diarrhea. Yeah, about that. Some people have been making wild assumptions here. I don't know if they're right or not, but I guess it's potentially likely. Okay, you keep importing infinite Indians, and they're not really well known for their hygiene. And you put them to make food in 7-Elevens, for example. What did you expect was going to happen? Well, it's happening exactly what should happen. The poop. The poop is happening. Very odd, very strange. But apparently it's not because of that, it's something far more mundane. Which, maybe that's good, I actually have no idea. I cannot make any assumptions here about the poop. All of the best humor here, what can you say? Yeah, but this is about health, okay? Parasitic infection has taken hundreds of people across 17 states, prompting a nationwide investigation by the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, the CDC. Oh, where's the P? No P for you, only poo. Comedy. The fast-growing outbreak involves at least 145 cases, as well as hundreds more reported by individual states, and the CDC is urgently trying to find the source of the outbreak. Likely to be traced with this contaminated by human feces. God fucking damn it, maybe they were actually right. The fuck do you mean human feces? I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna go even further beyond. According to the CDC's latest surveillance update on July 2nd, the reported illnesses occurred in people who became sick between May 1st and June 16th of this year. The deaths have currently been reported. I hope so. But 20 people have been hospitalized. CDC investigators are working with state health departments and the U.S. Food and Drug Administration, the FDA, to try and find the source of the infection. The officials are investigating whether there may be several potential sources of the contamination and have been unable to pinpoint anything so far. The infection called cyclosporiasis, I think that's correct. I hope so. Oh, do not do this to me, King Bounties. Do not do this to me. No, it's not Metachameleon, it's Megachameleon. But I've just seen the NASA tweet, and she got Metachameleon, which I wonder if that's correct. Meant to be played with a lot of people. So maybe. I got lost for a second. I guess I should restart the paragraph. The infection called cyclosporiasis. Now I choked. See what happens when they get clankers? It's caused by a tiny parasite called Cyclosporicatinensis, which prevents the gut after people consuming contaminated food or water. I think that's kind of correct because I'm pretty sure that's Latin. People with cyclosporiasis experience watery diarrhea. Ah, delicious. Which can be severe and last for several weeks. Several weeks? Oh my god, what a torture. Other symptoms include loss of appetite, bloating, nausea, stomach cramps, fever, weight loss, and muscle pain. I mean, yeah, losing weight I think is normal with such an event. The parasite cannot spread directly from person to person. I mean, you would hope so, I think it makes sense. Symptoms generally appear about a week after exposure, but can appear as soon as 2 days or as late as 2 weeks after ingesting the parasite. Although most healthy people recover without treatment, it can take several weeks for recovery. Treatment is available with an antiparasitic drug called trimethoprim, sulfamethoxazole. I'm not a chemist. I'm not a chemist. Which is effective for most patients. That seems pretty useful. In the US, cyclosporiasis has repeatedly been linked to contaminated fresh produce that has come into contact with feces. Rather than contaminated meat or present person spread. Previous outbreaks have been associated with imported and domestically grown leafy greens, basil or basil? I'm not quite sure. I think I'm saying basil because of the Dragon Ball Super character. Cilantro, raspberries, and packaged shallot mixes. Often eaten raw. I mean, yeah, normally you would. It's kind of weird that you wouldn't clean those, but if it's a packaged salad, I guess it's reasonable for people to buy those just to take to work. The sensitive word that although watching fresh fruit and vegetables may help remove some of the parasite and reduce the risk of infection, because cyclospores is microscopic, can stick tightly to produce surfaces, and may be able to hide in crevices. It's difficult to remove entirely by washing. Cooking is the only reliable way to kill the parasite. Couldn't you just do something like a water vinegar soak? I think that's usually common to clean food stuff. So that makes sense to me. Will that work? Jeez, I don't know, I guess. Maybe. I think it makes sense. God, every single time I see the kick message. It is very strange, but it do be kick bounties. Yeah, that should be correct. Sends you to bounties.kick. That should be correct. Very well, nonetheless. I mean, they can speak in chat without following, so... There's that. Hold up. Hold up. They're not following, right? That wouldn't make any sense. No, they're not. Yeah, they have the special powers. That's why I think they're legit. Still all, they also have the badge. The staff badge. The Grand National Investigation comes with Michigan experiences and initially large surge in cases. State health officials have identified more than 170 infections across at least 7 counties, more than countries. Already more than 3 times the state's typical annual total of around 50 cases. Officials have not yet determined whether the Michigan illnesses are connected to the broader CDC investigation or represent a separate outbreak linked to a different food source. I mean, who knows at this point, because, yeah, you cannot really know too much with these people. Okay, that's a little bit worrying. That's a little bit worrying because that's the anime son that shouldn't be here. I'm gonna go to a different video, I'm afraid. I don't fear many things in life. Well, I guess that's the opposite. I don't fear many things in life. But the DMCA gods, yeah, they're not your friends, clearly. Okay, what about this one? He's just underwater. It's probably fine. I don't think we're gonna get in trouble, but you never know. Better play it safe. Although cyclosporiasis remains relatively uncommon in the US compared to more common sources of food poisoning caused by bacterial viruses, large foodborne outbreaks have occurred repeatedly over the past decade. In 2018, 761 laboratory-confirmed illnesses across multiple states were linked to contaminated fresh produce, including prepackaged vegetable trays and restaurant salads sold at McDonald's. Oh, yeah, that is not good. But it is still something understandable. 2020, another multi-state outbreak was traced to bagged salad mixes. I guess you should just avoid those, right? They seem to be a constant problem. My goodness. Morning, hey, how you doing? Rating current events. We're talking about poop. Don't mind me too much. Not the best way to celebrate July 4th, but it's probably fine. Until investigators identified the source of this year's illnesses, the CDC is encouraging healthcare providers to consider sickle psoriasis in patients with persistent diarrhea and reminding people to seek medical attention if symptoms develop after eating fresh produce. So, they don't wash the produce when they send it to the shop? That's a little bit odd. It's a little bit strange. Is that stark difference with Japan, I suppose. In Japan, when you buy something from the shop, let's say fresh fruit, for example, you can just eat it. You don't need to wash it. Allegedly, I will still give it a little bit of water anyway, just in case. I'm just used to it. So that's a little bit odd, but I do wonder why. How is this contaminated by human feces of all things? Is this a water treatment problem that affects these farms when they are watering their crops? I guess that's a possibility. My water's clean though. It's actually store-bought. That's why you know it should be clean at least. If it's not, well, pray for me. Pray for me. It's the only thing we can say here. Well, I think we should change the topic. We had two poop tabs. The first one was hilarious. The second one not so much. Having gathering a bunch of stuff here, I can't remember the order for articles today, so we'll see what happens. This is well, speaking of commies, what about California? During California Senate Committee hearing on the Protector Games Act, AB 1921, the ESA lobbyist Jennifer Gibbons, kinda want to make a joke about the last name, but I'm gonna refrain for now, said that community-run Minecraft servers are illegal under current already existing law. The comment came as the ESA opposed the bill, which aims to prevent games from becoming unplayable, as the publishers shut down official servers. Ah, but what about the Stop Killing Games? It was a good idea, but dang, you're somewhat ignoring the biggest danger to all of this. The fucking lobbyists. Happens all the time. I'm sorry to say this. I don't like to be the bearer of bad news, but yeah, suddenly everything changed when the powers that be, I suppose. I don't want to call them governors or politicians, even though that would be actually accurate. Just there to hang out with the Ubisoft guy. How curious. After all, who controls the money controls a lot of things. I don't want to say everything, but a lot of things for sure. In this case, the main argument at least, something across the lines of... Across the lines? I don't think that's the expression should be using. Something similar to, but the software they're using is stolen. And they're using proprietary code that they shouldn't be using. But apparently that's not actually necessarily the case. I don't believe it depends on the server. I'm not entirely sure how these servers work. I'm not huge into the intricacies of Minecraft, as you might understand. I do believe that some of the servers do use more stuff than what's provided officially by the company. But to say that community-run servers are just illegal is something very odd to say. If we scroll down... Okay, hold on, what is this? What's this? Damian community notes. Okay, alright. Minecraft's official usage guidelines allow hosting community-run servers. If we host a server for Minecraft, that's not what they're saying. It's not about the user agreement, it's about the law. Completely different. And we have here Tim Sweeney saying the same thing. It's not about user agreement. There was this guy here with barely any interactions. Someone should tell Minecraft that themselves they're supplying the means to an illegal action. Helping someone commit a crime, which helping someone commit a crime is illegal. That's very odd. Very odd. It's also kind of funny that we have here. I'm assuming this is Nash, right? Yeah. I wasn't sure because it didn't appear in the main header, which was rather strange. This is borderline evil. Minecraft creator speaks out against ESA calling private servers illegal, and other ways for my work to be used against people, which is pretty understandable. This is once again another attack on preservation, which I don't like. I think it's being very clear that I'm a big proponent for private servers. I like those a lot. Many MMOs I've enjoyed from my life don't exist anymore in an official manner. So having private servers, it's actually pretty huge for that. It's not just Dragon Ball Online, but it's also Dragon Ball Online. I've been thinking of the game recently, that's why. What about Elder Scrolls 5, for example, right? What about, not Arcage, the other one, Arc Lord. I played the thing, it was actually pretty interesting. It doesn't exist, it hasn't been a thing in more than a decade, I believe. What about those, right? Preservation, I think it's good. But we'll see. We'll see. I don't want to speak too much because we have a bunch of different tabs I had to deal with. Preservation in general, I don't want to... It's not to spoil stuff, but I will probably make the point later anyway. Marcus Creator, Marcus Notch Person. This hilarious last name. What's your last name, Person? Ah, it's too on the nose. It's too on the nose, you cannot convince me, man. Is speaking out against the Electronic Software Association for claiming that the game's private servers are illegal. It doesn't make any sense, because I don't believe the main logic for Minecraft is to play with people, right? You can play alone, but it's the kind of game that is very fun when you play with people. So of course, normally you would run a private server if you want to play with your friends, which is completely normal. This is nothing new, by the way. This was not created by Notch. This was already a thing in the early 2000s, okay? Trust me, I will know. Very odd, nonetheless. Earlier this month, the California State Senate held a hearing regarding Stop Killing Games Backed bill known as the Potato Games Act. The bill aims to obligate publishers to find ways to make games playable, even after ending support for them. Which, I'm gonna be honest, it shouldn't be that difficult. If you can have a bunch of nerds in a garage with bags of scraps doing that, you as the game maker should have all of the tools, and you should be beholden. You should be... not beholden. What is the word I'm looking for? I don't think it's beholden. I guess it could be. My lexicon is failing me a little bit here. You should be, I guess, responsible in this case towards the law to fulfill that need. I think that's fair. It's kind of a spoiler still. Okay, alright. I think it's obvious. We're gonna cover this only thing with only digital media. That's more related to that. We have an opinion piece from Niche Gamer that I haven't read, but I think it's gonna bring up a couple of points where we can have more discussion, which I think it's probably gonna be the best way to approach this thing. I don't have the Asmongold clip, but I just think the clip is stupid. I said it before, I appreciate the man, but he has a lot of stupid points and ideas. I'm sorry. That would mean that live servers games will need to have some kind of functionality after servers are shut down. The subject of private servers are what's brought up is a feasible solution, and cited Minecraft as a prominent example, to which ESA's VP of State Government Affairs, Jennifer Gibbons, countered with a head-scratching argument. Gibbons claimed that these private servers are actually illegal. Okay, alright, I guess I now need to be fair. Even if she's writing a technicality, I don't think she knows what she's talking about. Even if it's true that some of these community servers are running software that's not just what's provided by the company in this case, as we've seen, that doesn't mean that what she's saying is right. Because she's talking out of her ass. I do believe she's trying to claim that the concept of private servers is something considered to be illegal, which is an absolute insane thing to say. Right? If I were to release a game, a normal game, I don't know, a TCG, which is turn-based, it's probably something somewhat easy to make. Sure, I would implement some sort of random fighting adventure mode, because I played MTV Forge and that was a fun game. If I were to add multiplayer, it would be probably peer-to-peer instead of having a big server managing everything. A peer-to-peer connection, in this case, won't be, mechanically speaking, a private server. I mean, potentially you could have up to, I don't know, maybe 4 people playing at the same time. Running through the map, you could do 2v2, potentially, I don't know. I'm just spitballing here, of course, right? How is that illegal? That is within the logic of what I made. Which is normal. I would think it's actually, hey, something good. We have built-in peer-to-peer connections because, the game dev was so nice to us. I'm not trying to toot my own horn here, but you can understand what I'm trying to convey. Saying that something like that is illegal by default is just a bunch of fucking nonsense. I don't think they're gonna give her reasoning here, but we'll see. A form of piracy, and in the case of Minecraft, are unsanctioned by Microsoft. Yes, of course they are, because they are private servers. But if the company itself is giving you the way to run the servers, they might not be sanctioned by Microsoft, but they're endorsed by Microsoft. Games went as far as comparing them to a game in black market. Does she even know what she's talking about? I don't think so. Now this is true in the case of Minecraft, as its official website gives players the tools to create their own private servers, and even boasts a browser filled with custom servers. It is actively encouraged by Mojang. You can also run servers with mods if you want. Okay, let me open this. Actually, because I'm kinda curious. I think we need to know more about this to see exactly what she's talking about. Not the trailer. Okay, that is kinda long. I think I want this game and see if they have maybe quotes. Yeah, they have some quotes here. Click the display and see that these are not officially sanctioned servers. In fact, according to games, they are illegal. Okay, not being officially sanctioned doesn't mean they're illegal. It only means they're non-official. They're illegal, games responded. They're not in any way affiliated with Microsoft. Okay? Microsoft, for Minecraft, has gotten a lot of criticism because of those community servers not employing the same safety standards that Microsoft does on their Minecraft servers. I hate these people. I hate these fucking people. But that's normal. That is normal. The company, it shouldn't be your dad, okay? The company shouldn't be just looking over your shoulder all the time to see that you're not being another child. It's fine. Minecraft is not an online multiplayer game, okay? It's not like an MMO where everything is just supposed to be online on a server. Minecraft is a single player game that has the option to go multiplayer. You could do local, you could do private, you could do community run, you could do official servers, potentially. That doesn't mean that the non-official servers are illegal. Also, that doesn't mean that those private servers, it's in the name, private server or community server, that you understand this is not run by Microsoft. And you might have some claims with community, maybe it should have a different name. Okay, sure, whatever. That doesn't mean they should follow safety standards imposed by the powers that be. That's very odd. That's very strange. If anything, these people are pushing for more control of these games. Why? It's so stupid. It's so insane. Gamers was asked by a community member if private servers are akin to black markets for video games, and Gamers answered yes. That means she doesn't know anything. The ESA executive went on to state that they even consider these servers as piracy and have lots of spending against private servers right now. How are they piracy? How is it piracy? I'm actually asking because it doesn't make any sense. If you can connect to the server having a non-official copy of the game, that's a different issue. But it's not these servers giving unofficial copies of the game. It's very odd. It's very strange. Is this about mods? It can be about mods. I think that's actually likely. Yes, and Gibbons. In fact, we consider it piracy. We have lawsuits, dependent lawsuits against private servers right now. And the United States Trade Representative, USTR, in the Insurance Market reports on counterfeiting and piracy has named some of the big private servers in the insurance market. I think I might know what's happening here. I think she's mixing Minecraft servers with private servers of retail games. When I say retail, I mean usually retail MMOs, like WoW servers. Some of them have just shut down because of lots of the stuff. But having a private server for WoW, which is a retail game that is already online, and yes, officially you should only be able to play on official servers, it has nothing to do with a single player game letting you host your unique multiplayer session, because these private servers at the end of the day are just multiplayer sessions. It's very odd. It's very odd. We shouldn't let these people that don't know anything about what they're talking about legislate. But I think that's just politics in general. Hey, do you know politicians are usually very, very stupid? I keep saying that, but I don't think people believe me. To be clear, in the case of Minecraft, this isn't true. Yada yada yada, we read that, sure. A server offers its own brand of finding uniqueness, raising excerpts about community servers on Minecraft's website. Find your favorite with our server list site, where all listed servers have been reviewed and verified as following our community standards and guidelines. So, she was actually just lying in this case. They were actually following the proper guidelines, because the server list should be actually endorsed and follow the rules. If it's fully private, you're digging around with your friends, nobody cares, right? It's fine. Oh, but you said a big no-no, who the fuck cares? What are you? Gay? For example. I just sent the ESA a link to this page, and noted that it was encouraged by the Minecraft team when requesting a comment. And ESA representative responded with the following. Private servers infringe on the intellectual property, IP rights of the game publishers. What a fucking moron. What a fucking moron. They don't know what they're talking about. Didn't understand that there are several types of private servers. Okay, what about the private server of a game that died 30 years ago and the companies don't exist anymore? How are you infringing on IP rights? In this case, I know somebody probably still has the IP rights, but who knows who, right? They're probably not using them anyway. They're not actually damaging the company in any way. Publishers reserve the right to declare the rights against them. The provision in CAB 1921 that proposed these servers as a legitimate alternative to keep games running raised the concerns about the publisher's ability to enforce their IP rights. No, it's actually quite the opposite. If you kill the game, you're actually letting go a little bit of your IP rights. Okay, how am I gonna play a game? How is this a big deal? You're trying to sell me a game. Sure, whatever. I want to play the game, but you're not selling it to me anymore. How am I damaging you in any way? I'm not. Because that's not how reality works. It's very stupid. It's very stupid. It's very stupid. We shouldn't let these people be around anymore. Very odd. In this private servers operate with no oversight from the publisher and do not uphold the same trust and safety standards. Nobody cares. Even when true, nobody fucking cares. You understand if you're playing, I think now defunct Total WoW. You understand that's not Blizzard, that's just a bunch of people. This could create a safe environment for players and be counter to the industry's commitment to fostering safe and fun gameplay for all players. What about me? What about me? I am inside the group of all players. What about me? You're just lying to me. Hello? Hello? There we go, that was very odd. Because maybe I don't want to have what you consider a safe environment. What about that? Shouldn't I be able to decide? Well, no, of course not. Of course not. You will follow what that the government says, or else. Do they have more stuff here? Let's see. Pinkelly Games campaign volunteered to try to address the situation, noting that every one of these claims was designed to scare a busy legislator who doesn't have time to fact-check a well-dressed lobbyist in real time. Yeah, I think that's fair, and I think that is correct. It worked well enough this round, they continued. It will not work when we're standing in the same room with developers and players beside us. We're ready to answer every single claim as it happens. Here's what happens next. Okay, alright. So this is just the shut up, silly woman kind of moment, which, I mean, sometimes happens. What do we have here? Notch, the creator of Microsoft, spoke out against these comments. They spent longer working on the franchise. I'm not part of either anymore, but I feel like the ESA is being incredibly scummy by pulling this, he said. I've never liked them, but even less so now. I did not wish for my work to be used against people. This is borderline evil. The ESA provided IGN with two statements on the matter yesterday. One that largely reaffirmed the comments made by Gibbons, and another that softened things, but also did a statement which walks back some of the definitiveness of Gibbons' original comments. Okay, so this is kind of the same but for wording, I assume. Expect the same user's dribble, still. Private servers that house or distribute copyrighted game content without authorization infringe on the intellectual property rights of game publishers. Oh, yeah, but this is way different than what we're talking about, right? This sentence here is actually completely useless. This is actually completely useless. Okay, private servers that host or distribute copyrighted game content without authorization infringing the IP rights of game publishers. Yes, that's the point. We're trying to do this in a legal way. That's what you have to. That's what they're pushing for a law that says, hey, if you're gonna kill the game, you should let people do this. It's so stupid. It's insane. It's insane. I hate these lobbyists. I had a short conversation with a friend of mine yesterday. It didn't have to do anything with this, but I ended up coming up with a line that was extremely true and real, and I think it's very appropriate for this. He mentioned something about weak lobbyists, and I was like, well, all lobbyists are weak. If they were not weak, they wouldn't be lobbyists. He agreed with me, I think I'm correct here. But in this case, they're just absolutely fucking insane. They're telling you that it's wrong because it is illegal, when you're trying to push it to become legal because it's actually not wrong. It's just a very stupid legalist argument. If we just go by the every single word of the law, you will never change anything. It's so stupid. You can just do things. What are we even looking at? It's so insane to me. It's just so insane to me, man. That's absolutely crazy. It's bad because it's illegal. Okay, what about we make it legal? No, it's illegal for a reason. No, we want to preserve the games. That's what we're pushing for, these laws. Very strange. One publisher may take different approaches. All publishers reserve the right to exercise the rights against IP infringement. Yeah, take that with a grain of salt. The provision in CAB 1921 that proposed these servers as a legitimate alternative to keep games running raised the concerns about the publisher's ability to enforce their IP rights. Bullshit. Absolute fucking bullshit. What is the difference? Not really. What is the actual difference with something like Minecraft, for example? What is the difference there? It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. In addition, private servers operate with no oversight from the publisher and do not uphold the same trust and safety standards. Well, if they want to uphold the same trust and safety standards, maybe they shouldn't kill the game. Maybe they should offer official support for the game. If you don't, yeah, it's the Wild West. But you're gonna just get into random private servers, usually. So that should be fine. This could create an unsafe environment for players and be counter to the industry's commitment to fostering safe and fun gameplay for all players. Shut the hell up. Just want to make it illegal because you're a filthy fucking lobbyist and I'm sick of you. Oh my god. I'm not sure why we give anything Notch says anyway. They got a huge payout from Microsoft has spent his time since becoming a Nazi agent grafter on Twitter. Oh, I don't like the man. Please, government. Please, government. Oh, the government has to be my daddy because I'm a fucking idiot. Say what I mean. This is the kind of people we're dealing with. Absolute fucking retards. Holy shit, you cannot hate these creatures enough. It's bonkers. Absolutely bonkers to me. I'd expect from a politician from California. They're ignorant to almost everything. Politicians as a whole are. The many rules, laws, civil clauses, etc. Am I correct? Isn't that guy a raging bigot? Aren't you a raging retard? My goodness. I wish Microsoft left Microsoft alone. That'd be good. That'd be good. Absolute insanity here, man. Holy shit. My goodness. You gotta hate Californians enough. Fuck me, pal. Fuck me. That's not great. Speaking of stupid things, let's have this for sure. Oh, important updates. Here's some physical dates for new games. Here's some PlayStation Store on PS3 and PS Vita. Physical disc production ending in January 2028 for new games releasing on PlayStation consoles. Oh, brother. 979 likes. 8,033 comments. Yeah, that's the ratio. In response to shifting trends in consumer preference, new games will be released on PlayStation Store and at retailers in digital formats only. Shifting trends in consumer preference that you have forced, because what about if you want to have a PS5 with this trade, you have to pay more for it. Well, yeah, people don't like to spend a lot of money, that is for sure. Hey, shoot me, him, okay, just say you're gay and move on, who the fuck cares? Holy! Okay, alright, thankfully this is kinda short. As consumer preferences on the border of entertainment industry continue to shift away from physical discs to digital, physical game disc production for all new games released on PlayStation consoles will be discontinued, starting January 2028. Following this day, new games will be available in PS Store with retailers in digital formats only. Why would you go to a retailer to buy digital copies? Beyond me. This transition has no impact on games that are already released or will be releasing prior to January 2028 in this format. There's a natural direction for Sony Interactive Entertainment to adapt to consumer trends. You can keep saying consumer trends as if that means something, but no, it's a cope. As the general preference for digital media significantly outpaces physical discs. Now that's a lot of people playing on Steam and buying Steam stuff. I mean, shipping Steam. That's why. This transition will enable us to align more closely with how most of our community prefers to access and play games today. We'll continue to prioritize our resources to drive innovation in how players can access games, and provide choices to where players prefer to purchase new games. Whether it's at retailers or PlayStation Store. Now, people go to retailers because it's physical, not because they enjoy going to the supermarket. Come on now. What are you, stupid? That's what I played. I don't wanna know. I know you're looking very suspicious already. We remain committed to delivering a world-class gaming experience to our fans, and we thank you for your continued support. They don't like this. I always prefer physical to digital. A real disappointing news. Sure is. Terrible news. Rare game collecting. We literally own nothing. But licenses, this is a horrible decision, Sony. Yep. It's real unreal. Oh boy. Hey, isn't that nice? Digital purchasers granted a revocable license to access content, not ownership. Sony originally removed hundreds of purchases Studio Canal movies from libraries due to licensing. Yes, you paid for it. No, you don't own it. Wow, so nice. You will own nothing, and you will be happy. Won't you be actually happy? I have no idea. It's Sony's problem. This is Sony. They got the money, that's good enough for them. Well, the main issues here. That's right, keep listening to the WEF and your ESG master instead of gamers. You think you're a necessity. It's going so well for you. My goodness, Savage just a savage. You held no games on PS5. Now get ready for no games ever. Makes about as much sense as just changing to digital pieces. 58,000 likes. What a bunch of fucking, you know, insane ratios here. You will own nothing. Stop selling digital games for the same price as physical ones too. You're removing the printing, box, and shipping prices from the equation completely, so you shouldn't be paying $70 for digital games anymore. That's a very good point. That's a very good point. It's not a physical item. Why is it the same price? You're killing ownership. You're killing legal preservation. You're killing discoverability. You're killing publishers. You're killing developers. This is a move that might still improve bottom lines, but you're dying every other aspect of this medium. Well done. You fucked up. The best thing of this, you know what it is? It's actually killing itself. Congratulations, PlayStation. You played yourself. Very good. Because now there's not a difference between PS6 and a computer. Aside from, a computer's just literally better. Why would you buy a video game console? It doesn't make any sense. You don't have the games anymore. It's not powerful enough. It's just a digital copy. Just buy a fucking computer. Just buy a fucking computer. Congratulations. You probably killed PS6 before it's released. Moskoshi Hometearu. Very good. Very good stuff. I will mention right now, because I don't have the clip on hand, but who the fuck cares? We have Asmongold mentioning something like, but it doesn't matter. Because you already didn't own the games, because if you bought, for example, Crimson Desert, you were still beholden to the PS Network. And that is true, but because some things are shit doesn't mean that every shit decision doesn't matter. It's still another step down the pipeline of you will own nothing and you will be happy. It's not a good step, it's a bad step. But I'm happy to say bad enough a step that it actually kills the company. It's not going to kill Sony, but it potentially might kill PlayStation brand. They get what they fucking deserve, for sure. I understand it's a big problem when you buy, quote-unquote buy, digital-only games. I mean, I do it all the time because of Steam. Because you didn't actually buy them. It's officially just a license. And I do agree that the main problem here is more consumer protection laws. Something that shouldn't just be allowed. But that's what should be, not what is. What is happening is that we're moving away from something that should be. Not a net positive. Asmongold is wrong. He is wrong many times. I said it before, if you take the guy away from extremely cold takes, politics-wise or society-wise, the guy is just a fucking idiot. He's a fucking normie, he doesn't know what he's talking about. I'm afraid. We also have opinion that the physical games was inevitable, but it is still sad. Was it inevitable? I'm not quite sure, but I would say it was quite likely, to say the least. I don't think many people are generally surprised by Sony's decision to stop producing physical discs for new PlayStation games beginning in January 2028. If anything, I'm surprised it didn't happen sooner. Digital sales have been dominating the market for years. Okay, which market? If you're counting Steam, that's cheating. Steam is very powerful, very useful. That's why. Oh wow, shit! You just can buy games for $2. That's crazy. Where else are you going to buy computer games nowadays, too? Right? As an example, millions of players already buy their games through the PS Store without thinking twice. Okay, this is just about PlayStation, which is correct. Many consoles now ship without the disk drive, and downloading a game has become second nature. Do you think this might be related? That many consoles now ship without the disk drive, and you had to buy it, which means spending more? And there's something there for sure. From a business perspective, Sony's announcement makes perfect sense. That doesn't mean you have to like it. There's something undeniably special about owning a physical game. It's not just about having a plastic box sitting on a shelf. It's about knowing that you actually own something tangible. You can lend it to a friend, trade it in, spread it as part of your collection, or simply enjoy seeing your favorite games lined up years after you finish them. Which, yeah, I would say that is actually very correct. I mean, we play all games here all the time, right? I'm not literally hooking my Game Boy to the computer. I think that much is pretty obvious. I still own my old games, all of them. From the very first game I got to the very last game I got, physical. Why wouldn't I? It's a physical object that I bought or it was gifted to me, and I consider it to be a positive. Why wouldn't I? You can also justify some stuff we do on stream thanks to that. I'm gonna be honest, I do not own every single game I have played, okay? Ooh, bet you didn't expect that. And if the lever does not have quite the same feeling, Sony argues that this decision reflects changing consumer habits, and honestly, it's difficult to disagree. Most players have already voted with their wallets. And there's also another thing, people don't really mention too much about this, but I do think it's kind of a big deal. It's also easier to buy physical items, in my opinion. To be reasonable when buying them, I should say. Because if you buy a physical game or a physical product, using physical money, which I still do, I don't like using just numbers on the screen, despite me still buying stuff on Steam. I'm very tempered for that, I would say. It's very easy to spend more money than you were expecting because it's just a number on the screen. It's not the actual bill, it's not the actual coins. The actual physical exchange has a lot of value, in my opinion. If not, it kind of feels like just buying games on a video game. Buying items on a video game. Who cares, I will get more money. Well, yeah, but grinding money in a video game is usually way easier than grinding money in real life. Hot take. I do appreciate it a lot. Physical money, well, we still have it. Apparently the digital euro is moving forward and... Nah. That shit not for me. And digital purchases are not the norm, not the exception. Companies don't abandon the entire manufacturing process unless the numbers clearly tell them it's no longer worth maintaining. There's also the price thing, right? Okay. What is fair for the company to sell? A digital copy for 80 bucks? Or a physical copy for 80 bucks? Of course the digital copy. Because they spend less money producing it. They already have the game, they just have to send you a copy. A digital copy, which is literally no cost. Or pretty much no cost. But having to make the boxes, the different prints, the physical disc and all that. Even if it's cheap, it's more money. And they want to maximize profit. We'll see what happens. Everything else is going to follow after Sony. In many ways, this is Sony leading the market. It's Sony following it. Still, there's the consequence to moving toward an entirely digital future that I don't think gets discussed enough. Consumer choice. Once physical releases disappear, so does the ability to shop around the same way. And this can be discounted by different retailers, bought secondhand or borrowed from someone else. I will say, I'm not very specific, may not be applicable for anybody else, but many years ago, while I was still buying physical games because my last actual gaming system was the 3DS. I didn't buy anything newer, I just computer max. I got a very hot tip from an acquaintance. He told me I usually go to this mall here because every single game is usually just cheaper. Cheaper by default. Wow, even just new releases? Yes. I was a little bit skeptical, but I went there. Holy shit, he was right. Holy shit, he was actually right. In new game, they should have been 45 euros. I bought it for 32. Literally, day of release. Holy shit, that's a huge discount. That's crazy. That wouldn't happen with digital only. Sony will say it's 50, it's 60, it's 70, it's 80, it's 100. It's gonna be the price, potentially forever. Crazy shit, man. Crazy shit. Digital storefronts can certainly run sales, but the ecosystem becomes much more controlled by the platform holder, which maybe not ideal. You own a license rather than a physical product, and your options become increasingly tied to whichever marketplace controls your library. That's not necessarily a disaster, but it's a fundamental change in what buying a game actually means. I also feel, for the collectors, there are people who have spent decades building PlayStation libraries that stretch all the way back to the original console. Every new release became another addition to the shelf, another piece of gaming history preserved in physical form. And sure, even this can just break down, but you can just make a copy. Should be fine. Starting in 2028, the tradition effectively comes to an end for new PlayStation titles. Yes, box editions with unlocked codes will still exist, But let's be honest with ourselves. Cardboard case containing a piece of paper isn't the same thing as sending actual game disc. That's actually very true. It was inevitable, the end of an era. At the same time, I can't ignore the advantages of digital distribution. It's becoming available instantly. There's no manufacturing or shipping delay. Developers can output them more easily, and players around the world gain access simultaneously. For many people, those conveniences outweigh everything else. That's actually incorrect. That's the best case scenario. Available instantly. No, you have to download it. And sure, if you live in the West, chances are you have, at the very least, good internet connection. But it's actually not necessarily the case. I still remember the guy living in Arkansas saying, okay, but I don't have good internet connection here. Why should this be a permanent online thing? And the Sony director saying, I think it was a PlayStation director, saying, who the fuck wants to live in Arkansas? Well, that guy is not in the company anymore. Because you shouldn't clang on your customers. And it seems like a very bad idea for obvious reasons. We also have, which I know what he means here, when he says, update them more easily. Yes. What about the censorship on Final Fantasy VII Remake, among others? Yeah, I don't want to see that. Now it's gonna be forced on you, potentially. Not great. Not great. Well, after all, you don't actually own the game. You just have a license. So the company can just change whatever they want. Hey, isn't that nice? No, it isn't. No, it isn't. I don't think it's a Sony making a controversial decision. I see it as a Sony acknowledging a reality that has been building for years. What interests me more is what happens next. Does PlayStation eventually become completely debt-free, including its hardware? Will the experts follow with an official day of its own? Does Nintendo continue resisting the trend, or does it eventually arrive at the same destination? These questions only feel much more relevant now that one of the industry's biggest players has committed to a timeline. No, it's gonna kill itself. It will have the normies, the enormies that, oh yes, please, I will buy the $100 GTA 6. Because that's intended, and they love me. You're a fucking goy. Goy. The goy, really? Yes. The Kojima like this. It's insane. There's no way to fix those people. They're NPCs. It's way too late for them. But I do hope it actually kills the company. I actually hope GTA 6 ends up being a flop. They kinda deserve it. I don't know if that's gonna happen, but I can cope and save. Well, you're excited or disappointed, one thing is certain. January 2028 will mark the end of a chapter that has defined console gaming for decades. For many players, the loading game has already become normal. For others, saying goodbye to physical media will feel like saying goodbye to part of gaming itself. Very bold move. And I see a lot of people that usually just go digital only for whatever reason, also being against this. I also seen Asmongold being very smart about it. You just show me your physical collection. I've seen very impressive physical collections. I did not know that the Daima DLCs for Kakarot had a physical edition. That was actually very impressive. And it's actually pretty cool. That's great, that's great. It's not perfect? No, I mean, it's still DLC, but I guess it's better than nothing. If I had a modern system that was not just the PC, I would buy physical. Okay, I would buy physical. If I had a Switch, for example, I would buy the physical games. I'm that kind of guy. I stopped buying games because I stopped having actual systems that's not PC. If I still had this tray on my computer, maybe I would buy some of them physical too. Okay, I'm gonna miss for a second here. I'm just collapsing. It's gonna be short. I'm gonna take off a layer, another layer, and I'm gonna warm myself a little bit. I guess I can just bring up this attitude in the meantime. It's gonna be short. It's gonna be short. So don't mind me. See, it was fast, and we're already back. I'm already back! It was that easy. I got a towel yesterday for exercising, because I knew I would just burst into flames and start just losing every single drop of water I had on myself. It's been rather useful, I would say. It's been very hot this past couple of days. Everything was just drenched in sweat. Even the pillows. Not great. Not great. As I had this thing here, as soon as the largest PlayStation this plant is already resigning staff to make other products. The plant in Austria has invested 30 million euros in new technology to make optical micro lenses instead. Huh. The largest production site is already preparing its staff to move away from manufacturing this and start making other products instead. The site in Thorgau, Austria, produces 600,000 discs every day. The number is expected to drastically drop following Sony's announcement that PlayStation games will no longer have physical disc releases, starting from January 2028. A report from Austrian news site are up at checking with the plant to see what its plans were and whether Sony's news would result in layouts for these manufacturers. According to Dietmar Dancer, CEO of DADC, which manufactures Sony's optical media including PlayStation games, Blu-rays, and CDs, PlayStation currently accounts for around 50% of this volume, of which around 20% are new orders. We're looking roughly at 10% of the volume in 2028. That's until the publication via machine translation. Sony has probably been anticipating the shift for some time. The plant's 300 employees were told on Wednesday that it will be undergoing restructuring as a result of Sony's decision. Despite this, Dancer says no layouts are planned. Sony has probably been anticipating the shift for some time, and such around 30 million euros have recently been invested in the plant on new equipment designed to make optical micro lenses instead, leading to a pivot for the plant, which, I mean, it makes sense. It makes sense, you will be still making stuff, even though it's different stuff. Going to Sony's DADC head of micro optics, Marcus Strabel, the day will become a new era of business for Sony. Micro optics is the miniaturization of optical systems, and elements and serves to focus on direct light in the smallest possible space, he explained. One application would be, for example, a cartoon signal that is projected onto asphalt. That sounds interesting. Oh, I see. I mean, I don't know if that's gonna be huge or anything like that, but somewhat interesting maybe. Employees at the plant were reassigned from this production on Wednesday to start testing the new equipment. The Sony plan to retrain them extensively in the future and begin mass production of optical micro lenses next year. The news may come as a blow to the organizers of numerous petitions which have started appearing online as a result of Sony's announcement. The most prominent being Don't Kill the Disc, which was launched by Canadian retailer PMP Games, and currently has more than 30,000 signatures. That doesn't mean anything. At the end of the day, they can just do whatever they want. It's sad, I know, but that's how it works. With Sony already investing tens of millions of euros in new equipment to retrain these manufacturers to make other products, the prospect of a vtuber appears unlikely. I'm not expecting a vtuber. I'm expecting a collapse. Maybe just wishing for a collapse. So of course we have here a pretty up to it. What's in the range of 250 horse armor DLC to You Belong Nothing and Like It? Certainly was something. Well, we had a good run. Shame. Shame what happened. Man, giving a physical disc list, that is somewhat surprising, but I guess that makes sense. That whole in 2006. I guess so. I guess so. Yeah, it is true that microtransactions have been around longer than Oblivion for sure, but still. It's considered to be the big boom of the microtransactions, at least in the West. So I understand the comparison here. There's also something related to this, I think. Somewhat related. I don't think it's quite literally the same though. I mean, it has to do with physical stuff, maybe. Brand manufacturers have been sued for allegedly fixing prices and supply, linked to increased costs. The cause has been lost to claim Samsung, SK Hynix, and Micro have been squeezing supply. The 3 largest RAM manufacturers in the world are being sued for allegedly fixing the supply and prices of memory. Oh, Oh, excuse me. Holy shit. The chicken's fighting back. You'll tell me, yeah, you see, these are the problems of capitalism. I don't think this is capitalism. How is this free market? Well, it really isn't. It's a fixed market. If anything, it's somewhat the opposite. The sharply rising cost of memory is well attributed to demand for AI data centers, with major vendors signing long-term deals with AI firms. Now, as reported in Law 360, a class action lawsuit filed by a proposed class of individual and business consumers accused Samsung, SK Hynix, and Micron of playing a large part in what's been dubbed Ramageddon by the media. That's a funny name for sure. The complaint alleges that the three companies which make most of the world's supply of DRAM have been working together to fix component prices while reducing supply. Hey, do you still think that's free market? I wouldn't say so. I mean, I don't think it is, mate. In the case the three of reducing supply of DDR3 and DDR4 RAM, leading to a sharp increase in price for consumers who use it. And focusing most of its production on HBM, a high-cost, high-bandwidth problem of 3D stacked DRAM, mainly used by data centers instead of consumers, which I understand why they do it. Oh, I want more money, but you're undermining your business too with this, which I don't think it's ideal, but we'll see what happens. The AI bubble is not looking great in general, from what I'm saying. Not tech-wise, but as usual, economy-wise. I don't know much about the economy, I'm just a guy that understands basic math. Which, of course, I'm already way better than your average politician. There are oligopolists, that was a weird word to add here, has simultaneously cut production, coordinated a pivot to HBM, and exits from DDR3 and DDR4. In otherwise decreased and locked up a conventional DRAM supply, will process charge up with mind-blowing skill and rapidity, it claims. Also, I do believe these ones are still being used by AI and data centers anyway. So you're getting double fucked, which is not great. Not in this context, at least. Understand that DRAM shortages led to prices rising. Still, Samsung, SK Hynix, and Micron continue to squeeze conventional DRAM supply, simultaneously and publicly directing their resources toward less profitable per day HBM. Huh. That's odd, if that is actually true, that it's not as profitable. In some cases, simply junking conventional DRAM supply channels altogether. That... We read about that. I think that was NVIDIA. I'm not sure. A little piggy. Just... That with a little bit of a speed on my screen. Don't mind me. It also says the plan is working, as consumer purchases of conventional DRAM and devices incorporating it have super competitive prices and have otherwise suffered the impacts of a distorted market crippled by the behavior of DRAM oligopolists. It shouldn't be that difficult. I know how to read it. I know how to say it. Why am I choking? I'm gonna say it's hot and call it today. That's my goal for today. It says that in a competitive market, prices climbing at top range pull supply toward them, because at least one of the three should have seen the rise in prices, and try to focus its output on the product, make its competitors either do the same or lose customers. That did not happen, it says. That is not a free market. That's a control market. That's not quite literally a... how do they call it? A monopoly? Because it's not a single company. It's... well, as they said here, right? It's an oligopoly. You have the market being controlled by a couple of bad actors. I don't think that's good. Yeah, I wonder why. Oh, how could they think something like that? Well, because they're fucking you over. And if they're fucking you over, that means they're fucking me over too. I don't want to be fucked over by these people. And it's not the kind of people I want to, you know... TMI. Maybe it's too much information. You know what I mean. It's not argues that the three companies have control over the DRAM supply and can be realistically challenged by anyone else, because the cost of building one DRAM fabrication plant can be tens of billions of dollars and can take years to complete, which has the main problem with what's happening nowadays. It's not normal free market, as they usually tell you. It's the opposite of free market. It's pay-to-win market, which, I mean, it kinda makes sense. But it's usually controlled by a couple of companies that actually don't have profits in mind, which is rather odd. And a bunch of lawyers, as usual. So yeah, probably the worst people on Earth. Gansek claims that even if a new company that tried to challenge the trio, the process used to reliably manufacture chips, comprise decades of accumulated trade secrets, and US export controls bar the only other procedures in China from acquiring current generation equipment. And what about building more of those in the US? I thought that was gonna be a thing. I mean, it takes time, so maybe it's actually happening already. The practical consequence is that when the three firms obstruct supply, no trader can spend output to undercut them, it claims. Which is, undercutting them, it's a common tactic in the free market to keep the market fair. Trust me, I was not a muggle or anything like that, but I did some training back in my day in MMOs, you know. I know how it works. The last stuff announced that the companies were found guilty of price fixing DRAM in the past. Back in 2005, Samsung agreed to plead guilty and pay a $300 million fine for participating in what the US Department of Justice referred to at the time as an international conspiracy to fix prices in the DRAM market. It's fucking happening again 20 years later because these people hate you. And they also hate me. And apparently they also hate money. What? That's so odd. Hannings also pleaded guilty at the time and was fined 185 million in, I almost said euros for some reason, dollars. While Micro reportedly avoided the fine by reporting the incident and working with prosecutors, the same fucking companies are doing the same bullshit again. Fuck them! That's what I say. Holy shit, they're annoying. It's announced that the three companies were also investigated by the Chinese government when prices spiked again between 2016 and 2018. The account alleged here is the third such cycle in the same market. Among the same firms, it claims. I mean, right now it's just a commonality, isn't it? As the price of memory storage continues to rise, practically every company using these components has been increasing the price of their products accordingly. Last week, Microsoft raised the price of Xbox consoles between $100 and $150. It's been happening to every single company that deals with that. We've seen that. It also happened to the GameCube, which is pretty sad. Apple also raised prices across its hardware products on the same day. Hey, I bet your wages are also going up. If only. If only. As the price, we read that before the Valve confirmed the Valve confirmed Steam machine will retail for over $1,000, since the original goal for the price of Steam machine is no longer viable because of this fucking bullshit happening all the time now. Sony and Nintendo have also increased the price of their hardware in recent months, and an analyst suggests further increases could be on the horizon if the situation continues, as it appears it will. So the same companies are fucking you over. Great. I also find it kinda funny. Now you have the usual suspects on social media accusing the Orange Man of faulting him for the increases in prices. Oh, it's because of the Orange Man and the tariffs. No, the tariffs are not a thing anymore. They have been deemed illegal, actually. Maybe not all of them, but a relevant amount, for sure. It's also kind of funny, because we know some of these price increases were already a thing before Trump. So, I know you people hate the Orange Man, but this is not the case, pal. It's not the case. You're wrong. You're wrong and stupid. Not surprising coming from fucking commies, but then again. Ah, shit, I love being American. Never been to the US, but I love being American, what can you say? I actually find these people a huge amount, and prices go back down. I wouldn't mind getting a little bit more whammed, you know? I'm only running 60 at this point. I was thinking, I will buy some more when I need it. No! I guess not. Not like this. Horrifying. But it's not just these RAM manufacturers here that have a lot of problem going on. It's not just Minecraft. In part of this Egypt news, which kind of related to what we saw with Minecraft, but still, we're jumping all over the place today. The key design has passed within the House for the US is receiving major bipartisan support with 630 267 to 117 votes. It's all the says in the moment because I'm an idiot. It will change the internet as we know it. The kit said it's a package of around a dozen bills that wears a revised Kids Online Safety Act with new age verification, AI chatbot, and messaging rules. Forcing the entire internet to implement age verification checks. Yes, rep, Kathy Castor. Oh, brother. What about the Castor Wilds? The kid sent past the house with bipartisan support. Yay! If he has bipartisan support, you know it well. By the way. It's not left versus right, it's the elites fucking you over. It's the government being the enemy of the people, as usual. A long overdue step to rein in big tech and keep kids safe online. This important legislation strengthens privacy protections for children and teens. Best targeted advertising to young people, gives families more control, and preserves parents' ability to seek justice in court. Gives families more control. I'm sick of this bullshit. I can only hit the armrest on my chair so many times before I go insane. I don't know if the mic is actually catching that. It probably is. Maybe a little bit on the background. Why are you so annoying? Do not give a fucking phone to your kid, you filthy fucking parent. Holy fuck, dude. Okay. We're gonna get the immigrants. We're gonna get the traitors. On the government. Also. To Africa and the Middle East. And then we're also gonna kick these pirates out. And then we'll finally have our utopia. If only it was that easy. I'm proud of this important step, but the work to protect kids and teens line continues. Why are these pirates so fucking retarded? I hate them. I'm gonna call them a slur and think I'm gonna get banned. I spent years in the Congress working to pass legislation that will protect kids online and bring in big tech surveillance, and I'm pleased to support the Bipartisan Kids Act, which will strengthen youth privacy protections online. Require big tech to design their products with kids' safety in mind, giving people and families better control, and preserve parents ongoing in future lawsuits. I will keep working with my colleagues in the House and the Senate, parents and advocates to ensure we have the strongest possible law to protect children and teens and hold big tech accountable. Can't we hold accountable the parents? God fucking damn it! Lash them! Lash them! 15 lashings. That's what they get. They have just passed the Bipartisan Kids Act, which includes 2 of my bills to strengthen online protections for children. Republican, holy job, dude, my goodness. My legislation helps equip families with better online safety resources and modernizes privacy protections for children and teens in today's digital world, I guess. Frank Pallone. Oh. Update. My Bipartisan Kids Act passed the House today by an overwhelming vote of 267 to 117. Big Tech has had it free pass for too long. Today, that changes. I'm not a big fan of big tech, but I'm also not a big fan of the government. Let me speak to the people, Piccolo! They have to know. Predatory design, dangerous AI chatbots, targeted ads at kids. Why do you have the kids on the internet? My mother didn't know anything about the internet, but she was far more sensible than this. And I came out okay. Yeah, look at me. I'm just screaming to the void. They have to survive 2 more rounds of voting, and since surviving, regardless, everyone counted your politicians. Not that they care, but throw them anyway, politely. And I do believe that Chibi Brains have a very good point here. The fact that voted with an overwhelming majority in support is terrifying. Because they both want to rip our privacy away. I hope the Senate shuts this down. You can only hope. If they want to prevent kids from using the internet, just have a license for it and prevent connecting without a sale license. But they didn't get the information. Forcing people to get their ID or their face to private companies is fucking retarded. And that's precisely the point, which we all know it is. Watch! The next thing they're gonna try after these passes is they're gonna try to make VPNs and any end-to-end encryption illegal. It's already happening! Welcome to modern day! It's already happening. I also have this, which is pretty much related. These scripts have started rolling out in code for age verification. The system requires users to submit the government-issued ID and a selfie to confirm their age. So both papers, please, and biometrics. Brutal. According to this code, in-code processes biometric data locally on the user's device using on-device AI and does not permanently store that biometric data in servers. How stupid do you think I am, pal? Well, I don't know, but you probably think most people are very stupid. And sadly, you are correct. Even so, the process requires users to share sensitive personal information with a third-party company. If this actually becomes mandatory, I will stop using Discord. Fuck you. That will be the end of Discord, potentially. This thing that you'll provide the countries where we are legally required to do age verification shit with the UK. Yes. But now you have to give more information. Do you understand the problem? Stan Slav. See, an British name from the UK, it only makes sense. Government ID plus self-report Discord is crazy. First, locally still doesn't make people feel better about handing that over. You know they're lying to you anyway. And they may lose some users soon. For sure. Internet and digital currency are the cornerstones of a permission-based online society. Government permission, police state is knocking on the door. They can come here and suck my ass. I know they have the ability to do so. I've seen them. They suck a lot. Asses? Maybe. We'll see. And, of course, we need to also laugh at the Europeans. That's the American pastime. Exclusive! EU could announce social media ban for kids in September. Von is expected to use her annual State of the Union speech to reveal plans for EU-wide age restrictions on social media. I love when the Americans tell me, you know what? Come on! What the fuck is going on with Dragon today? Holy shit, it's bad. I find it hilarious. And you see the Americans, well, you know what? You get what you fucking deserve. That's what you get for rolling these people in. That is the fun part. You don't. You don't vote for these people. You can only vote at best for the parliament. But only the actual government in the EU is self-appointed. It's not a democracy. It's not even close to democracy. It doesn't even have the facade of a democracy. It's quite literally an oligarchy, which is fucking ass. It's fucking gay and annoying. Trust me, I don't think most people want this demonic presence here in the continent, but then again. European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen is expected to announce proposal for an EU-wide social media ban for children through her annual State of the Union, addressing Strasbourg on September 16th. Multiple EU officials and diplomats told Ibaraki, which is this site. The mobile among Brussels clears political commitment, yet introducing age restrictions on social media across the bloc after months of pressure from national governments to better protect children online. The government should shut the fuck up at once, okay? Oh, but what about the children protections online? What about the children protections in real life? Holy shit, dude. Do you really care about the children? Okay, first you're gonna deport every single immigrant, even those you have legalized because you're a bunch of fucking idiots. And then you're gonna resign. If you actually care about kids, but you don't. It's a very nice excuse. I hate these people. Also, it's not the duty of the government to protect the kids. It's the duty of the parents to protect the kids. What are the parents? You know. Commission official cautioned that the legal framework has yet to be decided. Still, the initiative is expected to pave the way for EU legislation or other regulatory measures requiring platforms to prevent children below minimum age from holding accounts. One representative from the National Capital said Commission officials have already informed governments to expect an announcement in September, reinforcing expectations that von der Leyen will use her annual policy speech to unveil the initiative. If this was a fair world, oh brother, if this was a fair world, the things I would say. It remains unclear what minimum age the Commission will propose or how many restrictions will work in practice. They don't have any clue because they're just a bunch of fucking retards anyway. Also, they're a bunch of dinosaurs. How is this internet machine working? You won't understand it, you piece of shit. National governments have floated different options, from mandatory parental consent to outright restrictions backed by age verification technology. A new official familiar with von der Leyen's thinking? That could be anybody, that could be me. I'm not an official though. A sitting announcement could count during the speech, but caution that an expert panel advising the Commission has yet to publish its recommendations. The advisory group, established by von der Leyen to examine how children should be protected online, is expected to report on July 13th, which is next week, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, if today is the 7th. Until then, the political steering side. Next steps cannot be predicted, the official said. Oh, it can be predicted. It's gonna be ass. It always is. Officials said protecting children online has become one of von der Leyen's signature priorities in her second mandate. Priorities. No, it's a nice excuse. She's not predicting bullshit, as we have seen, because most of these predictions don't even work. Bunch of fucking idiots. One representative from National Capital described it as a personal pet project, saying governments wanted the Commission to put out some meat on the bone after months of political messaging. Ah, pet project, just buy a fucking dog and shut up, woman. Holy shit, leave me the fuck alone. I hate these people, I hate the government, I hate every single government. Well, I don't know about that. I hate most governments, I guess. Pressure from capitals. Oh, look at that. These are capitals, we know what they mean. We know what they mean, okay? It's not really the capitals of the different countries. It's just the fucking lobbies. Momentum has accelerated as EU governments pursue their own restrictions on children's access to social media. France, Spain, Germany, Denmark, and Greece have all pressed ahead with national measures. Also the UK, but since it's not in the EU, it doesn't count. Also Norway, I believe, which is also not in the EU. It's not just the EU, it's the fucking lobbies. If it was just the EU, it would only be happening here, but it isn't. Several countries at the bloc have gone further. Oh my god, do you think that's a good example? I don't think so. Australia. Passed the Online Safety Amendment. Social media minimum age act in 2024. A world first law requiring major social media platforms to prevent under 16s from holding accounts. It took effect in December 2025. It didn't work. It's not working. Because these politicians are just retarded. Thankfully, my enemies are just stupid. Yeah, I fear the day when they stop being stupid. Or I just become as stupid as them. That's gonna be not great. Von der Leyen has repeatedly decided the legislation is a model for protecting children online. You fucking idiot! I'm surrounded by retards! It's insane! Elon, take me to Mars! I don't fucking care anymore! I reject my humanity! My goodness. The UK government last month announced plans to introduce a Australian-style ban on under 16s as a major social media platforms, with the measure expected to come into force in spring 2027. The proposal would sit alongside the country's existing Online Safety Act. Ireland, which currently holds the rotating presidency of the Council of the EU, has made online child safety one of its priorities and is pushing for a new wide approach to age verification. It's always the fucking lobbies! Because the fucking lobbies actually use the different politicians as puppets. It's just that easy. Ah, democracy. Democracy doesn't fucking exist. This is not what the people want. Some people want this, but those people, we're also sending those back to Africa. I'm sick of them. Sick of all of them. And diplomat said Brussels was under growing pressure to act before national laws diverged too far. The more ways the less flexible member states are to adapt in their legal frameworks, the diplomat said. They understand they're completely useless. Crystal Schaldemose, the President of the European Parliament. This is the best part. There are several vice presidents and several presidents in the Parliament. It's insane. Are they any of them useful? For me, no. For themselves, I guess. Where's von der Leyen to move more quickly? She's not moving fast, and that's a problem. Schaldemose said, "We have been discussing this for a long time now." She pointed to Denmark, which is seeking to require parental consent for under 15s to access social media, as evidence that EU states are moving ahead regardless of Brussels. Yeah, Denmark is also not a good example. We've seen that fucking what was it? Minister? I think it was a minister, right? I have been something like internal affairs. I don't remember. That guy we read about before. The fucking idiot that was pushing for child control. That guy from the Government of Denmark. That guy. Yes. Fuck all of this. I'm not even joking. It's not even hyperbolic. Fuck all of them. None of these are good. Financial child safety expert following the work of the Commission's advisory panel suggested the equator summer period will naturally be an initial time to launch such a high-profile initiative. Making September State of the Union speech a more likely moment. Oh, brother. Last week, a Commission spokesperson said there were still different options on the table. For restricting children's access to social media, underlining that the precise shape of any proposal remains open. And this is something I actually jealous a little bit. Or envious? I'm not quite sure which one is correct in this case. I think envious is correct. I don't know. Of the US. Because they have Congress people and Senate people and whatnot. That in theory represent different counties in different states. And if something's going wrong, you just flood them with inquiries. I don't think that's the case here. Which is a big problem. You know what this means? Democracy in my ass, as fucking usual. It's nothing new. But democracy in my ass. I'm sick of this. I'm sick of this fucking bullshit. This is not the demo speaking. This is not the will of the people. This is just insane governments, insane lobbies pushing for fucking bullshit that's gonna fuck people over. But they disguise that as, well, why nobody think of the children? I'm thinking of the children. That's why I hate fucking immigrants. Quite literally fucking sometimes. And of course, whenever something like this happens, we need to always show the classic US government says to go hack the gang. Go hack the gang award. Yay! Happens every single time. Jeez, man, I wonder why. Maybe because they're not very good? I mean, yeah, pretty much. The Department of Homeland Security is investigating a breach of its platform, which federal, state, and local governments and law enforcement use to share intelligence. With one senior lawmaker warning that the information spill could risk national security. If this fucking bullshit happens in the US several times, you think this ain't gonna happen in the EU? Come on now. Come on now. I have a bridge to sell you, if anything. News sites NetGov, which first broke news of the incident, and Bleeping Computer reported DHS officials are probing a cyber attack on its Homeland Security Information Network, or HSAN, or HSAN, kinda funny, which allows government agencies and local officials to plan, coordinate, and share information and intelligence about major events and respond to emergencies. The hackers reportedly broke into HSAN servers during late May and early June, potentially exposing information shared using the platform, per NextGov. For which by email, an unnamed DHS spokesperson said that the department is aware of the recent cyber incident involving a specific and classified legacy information sharing environment. Classic. Classic. We merely took action to isolate the affected systems, mitigate the vulnerability, and launch a comprehensive forensic investigation, said the statement. The investigation is ongoing and the spokesperson declined to comment further. Okay. I do believe that legacy systems in the US are potentially better than current systems in the EU, which is hilarious. Give me a second here. I was grabbing my towel, don't mind me. What? I just lit aside. What the hell was that? Oh, this is so annoying. This is so disgusting. Not talking just about the article, but also that, I guess. I guess that is factually correct. Hello? It's not moving. What about now? A bit better. It's unclear what data was stolen or how much we're thinking, and Homeland Security did not answer TechCrunch's questions about the incident. A previously reported security labs through 223 revealed that HSync contained personal information shared among law enforcement, related to the surveillance of Americans. Well, well, well. Well, well, fucking well. Isn't that funny? Oh, brother. The thing that doesn't happen keeps happening every single time. I wonder how something like that is just possible. The incident involving HC but fresh scrutiny on the government's ability to defend the cybersecurity of its own systems. Following over a year of deep cuts across the federal government, including Homeland Security and Cybersecurity Agency, CISA, under the Trump administration. I bet they had more than enough money. Come on now. Fuck them. The intelligence area where anything is unclassified, the information is highly sensitive, and its exposure risks national security, said Mark Warner. Okay, that's a very appropriate last name here. A Democratic senator representing Virginia also serves as the ranking member of the Senate Intelligence Committee in a statement. Warren said that the HCM platform is supporting the World Cup Games, currently underway in the US. I was also used last year to manage the response to the media collision of an American Airlines jetliner and a US Army Black Hawk helicopter over Washington, D.C., which killed 67 people. I remember that. Kinda hilarious that something like that can just happen with fucking military bullshit. That's crazy. The identity, affiliation, and motives of the hackers who targeted Asing are not known, but the breach marks the latest scrutiny of security lapsed affected the federal government over the past year. Since the Trump administration took office in January 2025, the federal government has been beset by several major cybersecurity breaches, including the sharing of classified information and war plans over apps like Signal that haven't been cleared for government use, the reading of federal databases of Americans' personal information by members of Elon Musk's Doge, and report the public spiel of razor passwords and credentials by a CISA contractor that exposes access to government cloud systems. To be fair, some of these are not just like the others, okay? Let's be honest. Using Signal, okay, you're a fucking idiot. Doge, isn't that a government agency to some extent? Kinda think they knew what they were doing, but I'm actually not sure. Earlier this year, the FBI notified lawmakers in Congress that they had to declare a major cyber incident after exposing the phone numbers of targets and the surveillance with federal agents, potentially giving those adversaries a potential advantage. Good fucking job. Fuck the King Award. Congrats. Fucking rats. Every single time. If it happens to the US, do you think it's not happening everywhere else? Of course it is. And I'm sorry, but there's not much you can do about it. Because we're surrounded by fucking animals. They don't know anything. They don't know anything about technology, they don't know anything about security, they don't know anything in general. They're just a bunch of fucking idiots. I literally mean it when you say it. They're a bunch of fucking idiots, literally. Stuff like cybersecurity is a complex thing. But no, they was I know what we're doing. Yeah. Yeah, you know the intentions of what you're doing, not the reality of what you're actually doing. We also have this. Oh, the UK. The UK. Breaking! UK government to take control of YouTube algorithm. Fucking great. You know what I said? This is worse than China? Yeah, this is what I mean. This is what I mean. Oh, I think he fucked up my... Let me guess my positioning yourself or what? Nah, the tracking is a little bit off. It's fine. Who the fuck cares anymore? This authoritarianism, US armor / Underburn's government is set to control the YouTube algorithm by law, stipulating that they must push approved content to UK citizens. Of course, the government knows what's best for you, my little kitty. Independent voices who criticize the government will be pushed to the back of the queue, making it harder for people to find. YouTube has acknowledged this is happening. This must be stopped. What a bunch of fucking cucks, honestly. The UK government is running a public consultation called Watch This Space, a new strategic direction for UK media. That's the fun part. This is not the UK media. You can be in the UK making content. That doesn't make you the UK media. The UK media implies it's the government, at least in my opinion. But now you're beholden to their whims and desires anyway. The proposals include mandatory changes to how content is discovered on YouTube. This could directly direct audiences away from your channel. Nice. Fucking nice. If shit was not already difficult enough. Thanks to YouTube being a fucking piece of shit website. As a UK creator, this directly impacts your future. Internet content discovery works best when driven by user choice. No legal requirements. Holy shit, cannot believe I'm agreeing with YouTube here. This is a vital window for you to share your perspective before the consultation closes on August 31st, 2026. Impact of the proposed rules. The proposed new rules include a mandatory prominence regime. Holy shit, what a name! If that doesn't sound dystopian, I don't know what does. This could require digital platforms like YouTube to prioritize and give privileged positions to traditional broadcasters, BBC, ITV, and Channel 4, in user interfaces and recommendation feeds, potentially pushing your content out of sight. What the fuck is the government to meddle? Okay, hold up. Let me rephrase. What the fuck is the UK government to meddle with an American company? Well, since it operates in the UK, to shut the fuck up, you filthy commie. Think of your bullshit. And then prominence to traditional institutions will impact a lot of independent digital creators, production companies, and medicos, including through your content downranked. Pushing this group forward means pushing everyone else downward, and through prioritization of broadcasters will affect how your content reaches your audience, regardless of what your audience actually wants to see. Can you still create your own feed or not? That's the main issue. Because you can potentially just say, you know these people? Nah, I don't want to see them, fuck them. Then show me this channel. I will do that, but we know most people won't. Reducing user exposure to the best content independent creators, and dating prominence for established media networks would push the UK's diverse mix of independent journalists, educators, and digital-first businesses down the line. Spread the rich and channel growth. Oh, brother. Because it's very easy to grow on YouTube, especially when you get into more of the maverick opinions. Your ability to organically grow your community, generate views and revenue, and build a sustainable business is compromised if your content is hard to be discovered. Yay! Undermining the creator-audience bond. Consultation repeatedly emphasizes trust in the content of legacy broadcasters, implying that digital-first voices are less credible. Damaging the foundational trust and sustains the creator economy. What do you say? Digital first? They mean us, the lunatics on YouTube. I mean, nowadays, if you try something from the government, you might be a little bit stupid. I'm sorry to say this, but come on now. Mainstream media, the government, all those people, insane liars, and we know that. Also, YouTube lies a lot, but in comparison, they don't lie enough. It already prioritizes trusted sources in virtually every jurisdiction. It's gonna get worse. That's why they want to ban VPNs worldwide. True! They don't want people seeing the truth anymore. Yeah, we're gonna get to that in a little bit, don't mind me. Rape free speech in the UK! You think they had free speech in 2025? No. Good. Maybe YouTube won't suck ass like it does now. Even the big time people on YouTube have Twitch and Twitter. I think YouTube sucks ass. People who run their ass facts, Underwear, return to the shithole. Okay, alright, Redditor. My goodness. I agree that YouTube is not great, but still one of the sites with the biggest reach, which is very important. You have to create content where the people are. It doesn't matter if you make the best content ever, even if it's factually true. It will not help you if nobody can see it. That's why people are still on YouTube. That's why people are still on Twitch. That's the reason. Also money, but that's a different thing. We also have another stupid... not stupid, but very fucking evil thing from the EU. From today, customs duties apply to e-commerce parcels worth up to 150 euros entering the EU. 30 million Europeans work in retail. It's our largest private sector employer. And the surge in low-value online imports has put our retailers at an unfair disadvantage. What fucking retailers? You're not making anything. You buy everything from China anyway. Many of these products also fail to meet EU safety standards, putting consumers at risk. Shut the fuck up! Okay? Now shut the fuck up with this. Actually pisses me off. Because this is a massive fucking lie. Oh, what about the e-commerce parcels? What about the e-commerce parcels? What about the fucking food you import from Africa? That's riddled with fucking illnesses. I wish I was fucking joking, But I'm not. Holy shit, dude. That's fucking insane. Low quality, low, if any, quality inspections, riddled with all sorts of health problems, and the food is not good. Are you gonna tell me? Are you gonna tell me you don't need to import, I don't know, fucking oranges from Africa? I just don't fucking believe you, pal. You open them up, and they're just fucking ass. We're talking about a continent that has the better half of the Mediterranean. Are you gonna tell me you're gonna make good food? Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up and then go to hell. I hate these people. They keep lying to you with every single breath they take. Huh. The exchange is about preserving fairness for European businesses and better protecting your consumers. It actually has the opposite effect. Because now you have to buy components and whatnot at a markup, either paying these new taxes or buying on Amazon, which is more expensive. Did you know they apparently don't pay taxes in the European Union? It's kinda funny. In March 2025, Ursula von der Leyen stated, "Tariffs are taxes. They're bad for business, and even worse for consumers." Today, she announced new customs status and e-commerce parcels valued up to €150, arguing this will protect European retailers and consumers. The mass immigration made the EU safety standards, championing finding ways to make everything more expensive. I remember EU representatives said the import tariffs initiated by Trump would only hurt everyone, especially the US economy. But when you do the same, it's different? Well, you see, Trump is evil because he's orange. That's why. I guess them tariffs protect people from unsafe products. That's a good question. But the witch in the dungeon, lads. If only. Will you get that money to retailers, or will you buy yourself more houses with it, you gangster? And protect the Europeans by making them pay more taxes, right? They should be in jail, but should be in a different location for sure. But I don't think that should be jail. If I speak further, I will be in problems. I will be in big trouble. That's why I prefer not to speak. So of course, heat wave, 4th of July, waiting to talk about the thing. I found it very surprising that okay, that was weird. Somebody like the New York Post has the word woke as the first thing in the article, but that's kind of funny to me. One Paris politician blames Americans and our air conditioning for Europe heat wave and has killed 1,300 people. You can only blame yourself, okay? Ah, geez, yeah, she looks like a French woman. A Paris politician, I think she's the mayor or some sort of mayor, blaming Americans and US air conditioning for the record-breaking heat wave in Europe that has resulted in more than 1,300 excess deaths. What about the guns? Well, this wouldn't happen with a gun, let me tell you. After years tours among France over the lack of air conditioning across the country made 104-degree temperatures, I think they reached 110 at some points. Maybe only in specific locations. Audrey Pavard, Deputy Mayor of Paris for International Relations. You're a fucking mayor, what do you mean international relations? If this is what you're doing, yeah, you should get the fuck out. Claimed the situation was partially America's fault. Everything is just America's fault. What can you say? We're just this good. I say as a non-American. Let me roleplay a little bit. I'm blunt today. The American journalists and social media influencers, for days, some of you have been criticizing American flying in Paris because the city doesn't have AC in every room. Oh my god, this is so rich. Boulevard wrote on social media. As the second largest emitter of greenhouse gas emissions in the world, you bear a significant amount of responsibility for global warming and the consequences we, in France, are experiencing. The cities, which are 90% air-conditioned, are not unrelated to this, she added. So please, enough with the lecture. You start doing your part. The post concluded. This is just fucking stupid thing to say. Do you think air conditioning produces CO2? It does not. Also, kinda funny that you say, what was it? Second largest emitter. Hey, I wonder who's the first one. China, of course. But they want to gas it up to China for some reason. I mean, if you're gonna criticize the US for this, China's worse, okay? Don't get me started on them. But of course, this whole situation is fucking hilarious. See, we're the low CO2 emissions to fix the environment, to fix the weather, to fix the global warming. It's not fucking working. If everybody is emitting more than you, and you're seeing the biggest increase in temperature, what you're doing not only doesn't work, it's actually a detriment. Congratulations, you played yourself. Then again, elephants. That's surprising. France is lumber resistant to air conditioning, with only 25% of households in the country equipped with such cooling units. I mean, they're somewhat illegal. That's why. They didn't have enough energy to power those either. Oh, but the green energies are so good! Fuck off, I know you have nuclear! The red disaster Stalin Sea has begun to contribute to concerns about the environment, the culture, and street building codes. But that have begun changing as summers get hotter and hotter. It's actually not true. They're not getting hotter and hotter. Come on now, this is the very hot summer, but we had one in 2003. Shut the fuck up. Stop lying. Stop lying for 5 fucking seconds. It was 2 years ago. I believe 2 or 3 years ago. We barely had any summer. Summer started about late July. What do you mean? I didn't start wearing shorts, which I usually wear them fast, until mid-July. Actually happens late April to early May. What do you mean? What do you mean? Sure, I know. Whatever. Who cares? They had to keep lying to you. And spent between Cold War and Americans comes amid the record heat wave in Europe, with France experiencing a surge of deaths. They have left mortgages struggling to keep up. France has recorded at least 1,306 deaths since June 21st. The Public Health Agency said Sunday, warned that the final figures could be higher. Look, you already faced this. Deporting illegals. You already faced this cracking down immigration. But you know what you could do? Stop wasting tens to hundreds of billions with a B that you spend yearly housing those, and give your actual citizens and you say, wow, holy shit, hey, that seems like a good government. Never gonna happen though. You're stealing that with surplus money, don't worry about it. I mean, when you spend an average of 8,000 euros a month per immigrant, I think that's Germany, but still. Yeah, just buying it simply see what's gonna cost you 200, 300 euros per household. My goodness. You can give them a couple of them anyway. Whoa! That's too much money. That's too much money, even though it's just a one-off buy. Until it breaks. But 8,000 euros per month for immigrants when they just commit crimes and just keep sacking from the government. Yeah, that's good, that's fair. The tenant's preliminary count of official deaths over the weekend, San Public France said most of the fatalities involved other people. I mean, the fact that you expect. Scientists have said the current heat wave, which began on June 20th, was the worst recorded in Europe, where the climate is changing faster than the global average. Oh, the climate is changing faster! Oh, shut up, it's not true. It's not real, we're actually going to an ice age. What do you mean by this? One with attribution in a base collaboration of scientists, published a report Friday stating current heat wave would not have been possible without climate change. Holy shit, dude. Okay, we need to get these scientists, and we're gonna send them to Africa too, just because they're being a bunch of fucking idiots. The current heat wave surpasses the devastating one in 2003, which was blamed for the deaths of 15,000 people in France. I don't think it's worse than 2003, I think it's probably just equivalent. 2003 was hot for much longer than this one for sure. But what drives me fucking insane with this is that they rather criticize the US for having a proper country that actually fucking works sometimes than look inwards and say, oh yeah, we're being just a bunch of fucking idiots. And I'm gonna tell you why. First of all, I would preface this with, sure, if you have troubles with heat and you have the means, you should get AC. I'm a broke bitch, that's why I don't have EC. And if I got EC, I'd rather my mother have it first than me, because she struggles more with hit than me. I'm young, I can take it. I'm a manly man. I can take everything. It is annoying, but I mean, I think it makes sense. But of course, it's getting exponentially harder in the cities. You know why that happens? Because despite these people telling you, oh, the evil CO2, the evil climate change, not only they refuse to plant more plants, especially trees, they're actually cutting them down. What are you doing? What are you fucking doing? It is insane. Sure, that doesn't fix a heat wave, but holy shit, it helps a lot. I mentioned this already, right? Was it this Monday? I think it was this Monday. I went out to the mall to get my mother an early birthday present. I wanted to get her a cooling system, but they were actually pretty bad. So she actually picked up a tower fan, which seems pretty useful, to say the least. We were walking through a sidewalk, quite sunny, quite hot. We reached the part with the trees. Very noticeable decrease in heat, in temperature. It works. It's good. It's very good. Why are they cutting trees if they fear the CO2 so much? The trees love that shit. What do they give you? Shade, freshness, oxygen. Hey, that fucking bullshit we need to stay alive. That seems good. Seems like a good trade. But no. They keep cutting the trees. So of course it's gonna be very hot if you're living in a concrete jungle with no possible cooling, either natural or supernatural. But no, it's because of the CO2, it's because of pollution. No, fuck it isn't. No, fuck it isn't. The Omega Blanc caused the heat wave, not CO2. I mean, pretty obviously. Omega Blancs get their name because they resemble the Greek uppercase letter Omega. The contour lines resemble the Omega shape due to enormous high pressure ridge in the mid-troposphere that is sandwiched between the two low pressure systems to its east and west. Outside air has been advected, that is, horizontally transported northward to western Europe to anticyclonic clockwise airflow. As the air mass moves north, it is compressed adiabatically beneath the ridge where air is sinking. This process naturally has nothing whatsoever to do with climate change or greenhouse gas emissions. Chris Martz, meteorologist, said this is what happens. Basically becomes a dome where the heat just gets there and it cannot flee anywhere. So it's kind of a sauna. That's what happened. You know how you fix that? Shit, I don't know, but send the immigrants back. Fuck them. I could say something far more spicy, but I don't think I want to. Maybe a little bit too spicy. It's not the climate change. Okay, climate change is a fucking hoax. Not that the climate is not changing, but the climate changing something normal. It's a normal process of the planet, okay? It's fine, okay? It's fine, it will be okay. We have survived until now, and we have the technology to keep surviving. We will be okay. Trust me on this one. Everything will be fine, mostly. Well, everything will be fine, but kick the immigrants. Get those goddamn Mexicans. I bet there are Mexicans in Europe too. I mean, they have Spain, right? They speak something similar, I suppose. Well, let us not forget the UK, okay? Let us not forget them. Because what is the 4th of July if we cannot keep clowning on the UK? Well, that's every single week, but still. So here we have a strange tweet from the Birmingham police. We are aware of further showing the arrest of a man after a disorder on Broad Street at 1:30 AM on June 21st. Officers found a group of men fighting. As the incident was dealt with, an officer was punched. A man was arrested and charged with assaulting a police officer. Oh, that's not looking good. The video depicts a group assault on young men. A young man who is thrown to the floor, attackers and victims visible to onlookers and police. The officer was not punched. Having just been attacked, the man was still defending himself from any and all assailants, which I would say is actually very fair. The incident has been reviewed, and we have no concerns over the officer's actions, and we are satisfied that they were reasonable and proportionate in the circumstances. Can't we just stop hiring women to be police women, or policemen, or police people? The fucking cops. Come on now. If that's the footage is not further shared to allow the legal process to take its course. Ah, don't show the footage, man. Don't show it. It's gonna be pretty bad. The footage in question disproves the police's account of the incident. It is in the public interest for it to be shared. Far and wide to ensure just outcome for the male who has been arrested, and aid him with any civil action he may wish to take against the police, which I think is actually necessary. Of course, we had the video. Since they asked me so nicely not to show it, I guess I'm gonna show it. I think it only makes sense. And this is the long version. Just in case, which has more context. The normal clip you see is 21 seconds. You're missing some gems with that one. That's why Nigel Farage, which is also a fucking cock. Don't mind me. More evidence of the tier policing against white people in Britain. This young man was attacked by ethnicity minority men. Instead of arresting them, the police arrested the victim. All reform will put an end to this. No, I think you mean restore. Moves around. Roll to the ground, sucker punched. And that's the police woman. This is the police woman, by the way.
Oi, 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 oi!
Oi, oi, oi!
Do not fucking punch me right behind!
I'm trying to make that weird!
Put your hands behind your back!
What the fuck,
Cheers,
bro?
mate.
I'm trying to go.
Watch the fucking car, you dick!
What the fuck, bro? Please.
What to the fucking car, you dick!
I'm trying to go. That's it. Good job.
Get in the car! Get in the fucking car! I'm telling you now! Get in the car!
In the fucking car.
Put your legs in.
Oh, we're actually missing some context with this one. I thought it was the full video, but it isn't. There's another guy that appears and says that this kid was being attacked, and the policewoman's like, I didn't know that, I didn't see it. Are you fucking kidding me? We're gonna rewatch this. He's surrounded. And he's about to be thrown to the ground. Thrown to the ground. 11-second mark. He's sucker punched in the 12-second mark. And this is the police woman in the 13-second mark. Slamming the guy against the wall. Oh, but I didn't know what was happening. You literally got the guy a second after he was sucker punched. If you believe you didn't know what you were doing, you're not fit to be a cop. I don't care if you're a woman or a man. If you're gonna be doing bullshit like that, no. No. Absolutely fucking not. We're not doing this. We're not allowing this to happen. Absolutely fucking bonkers, dude. Absolutely fucking bonkers. And of course the guy is gonna defend himself, right? I'm going to mute. We don't need the audio for this. He's been thrown to the ground, he's been sucker punched, and he's slammed. So, it's 3 hits in about 3 to 4 seconds. You wouldn't think the last hit you receive is from a fucking cop trying to detain you. You would think they're still ganging up on you. Because the guy just got up. That's why... Boop, you're trying to defend himself. What is the cop doing? What a fucking idiot! Of course, this is a huge ratio, as you can see here. If anything, I'm surprised they have so many likes. But 9.5 thousand. What about 93,000? Yeah, that's a ratio. At the stage of opening a meeting, arresting the victim is satisfactory. If the footage absolves you, why do you want it shared? Is it because you're trying to escape the consequences for your lies? You watch a man get thrown to the ground by another as he was backing away, and your officer arrested the man who was thrown to the ground, while the man who threw him away walked away, where you're showing in everyone with citizen vigilance as necessary. It's not that it was the middle of a fight. It's not that they arrived later and arrested everybody. No. She was comboing, okay? She was comboing with the assailants. That's crazy. But since they are brown, you know they cannot commit any crimes. It's always the evil whites. You watch one lad get violently attacked by a group, and decide to arrest the guy behind being attacked. His defense, he stood up swinging, and instantly stopped as he realized who was robbing him, which, I mean, it makes sense. He was thrown to the ground, and he was sucker punched to the head. Chances are that the guy is very disoriented. He probably don't think in a million years he was in the process of being arrested, because it doesn't make any fucking sense. The fact is going viral so the world can see another example of the UK's two-tier policing. I suppose we should be thankful that the victim wasn't left to bleed to death and the payment was a blood sucked down to the perpetrators. You have the incident? I think you have, mate. And they have the short version here. White female officers hate young white males. They're the perfect target, and they love to handle them. And you're the victim, even better! So they have to deal with real criminals. It's a job for them. Absolutely fucking insane. Something like that should never happen. Absolutely fucking bonkers, dude. Absolutely fucking bonkers, but then again, the UK is different. Whoops, what is this? By Rupert Law, what's restore Britain to report this man? People smuggler convicted in France, found by BBC living in UK, and seeking asylum. Why is this man still alive? Why is this man still allowed to be in the UK and not being harmed by a tree? Legally, of course. Legally hanged. Fucking crazy. And we also have another article here from the UK. Shabana Mahmood. That sounds like an upstanding Anglo individual for sure. Bans asylum seekers from being housed near schools and nurseries. I wonder, does she know something we don't? How curious. How could this be? Well, we all know why. But let's see the excuses here. Ah shit, I need some more water. After stream I will need to refill my bottle for sure. Water's still very cool, which is nice. But there's not a big amount of it anymore. Home Secretary Shabana Mahmood has introduced new rules banning asylum seekers from being housed in new-built homes or near schools and nurseries. The measures were brought in following a backlash over plans to house more than 80 asylum seekers in 250,000 pounds for new-built properties, a housing estate in Stoke Heath, Shropshire. However, the Stoke Heath scheme had already been approved before the new guidance came into force, allowing the plans to proceed. You can just say no, you can just do things, it's fine. The new-built estate in rural Shropshire village has remained 21 homes for asylum-seeking families. That's fucking asylum. Like the other guy, a well-known human trafficker or a rapist. Yeah, I'm gonna give you asylum forever. Conservative MP Mark Pritchard has condemned the development as completely inappropriate. Stoke Heath is an isolated rural location with very few public services, he said. It's the wrong location and at the wrong scale. I will fight these ill-conceived plans all the way. Shropshire Council is also waiting to the Home Secretary to formally object to the plans. And Council spokesman said, we have written to the Home Secretary to raise our strong concerns about this location and are waiting a response before considering any further action. The crackdown in migrants being housed near schools and nurseries can be a sharp rise in sexual offense convictions involving foreign nationals. Well, if they're actually being convicted, you can count yourself lucky. It's not something that happens a lot, not in the UK. Shit, if they commit insane crimes in a disproportionate way, maybe you shouldn't have to just house them. Maybe you should just deport them. Or other solutions. They may be more appropriate in some cases. Ministry of Justice figures released last year showed sexual offense convictions involving foreign nationals had increased by 62% over 4 years. Jeez, man, I wonder why. According to the figures, foreign nationals accounted for 14.1% of sexual offense convictions, including rape, despite making up around 11% of the population, according to the Migration Observatory. And you have to understand, convictions, not actual cases. The actual cases are way worse, as we've seen, because you cannot be racist about these people, you cannot be Islamophobic about these people. You have to understand, they come from different cultures, and they have different values. Therefore, they're just gonna rape, and that's fine. That is not fine. That is not fine. Despite making up around 11% of the population. The government says it has made significant progress in reducing the use of asylum hotels. As of March, 20,885 asylum seekers are being housed in hotels, down 30% over the previous 3 months. If they're actually asylum seekers, which we know they're not, why are they in Europe? Why did they travel through 15 to 20 different countries? That's not what asylum is. Asylum means you have to go to the closest country that can properly house you. That means having a similar culture. Nothing here makes sense, but this is not actual asylum seekers, of course. Like ID laws for social media. Being, oh, just because of the kids. It's a very good excuse just to fuck you over. And further, 17,768 asylum seekers were living in alternative accommodation, including houses in multiple occupation and former military sites. Home Office Minister Alex Norris began to start kicking them. Told MPs on Monday that a further 20 asylum hotels had closed, reducing the total use to 170, from a peak of around 400. People will say, why not 0? Well, you know. Ms. Momo has pledged to end the use of asylum hotels before the next general election by moving asylum seekers into dispersed accommodation and former military sites. No, there are better locations than this. Send them back. Just send them back. You don't have to allow them. Because if you allow them in, they're never going back. We have seen from Germany something similar. I think it was quote-unquote Syrian refugees. I say refugee when we all know what it actually is. Or just Syrian immigrants. And the German government was like, okay, they've been having here for far too long. Maybe they had to go back. And the government said, no, not the English government. The Syrian government said, no, we're not gonna accept them back. The fuck do you mean you're not gonna accept them back? These are your people. I still understand a lot of things that happened in the past century. You don't want to see a repeat of that. But you're forcing hands in that way. Backlog of initial asylum decisions also continues to fall. At the end of March, 40,758 people were awaiting an initial decision on their asylum claim. Why? Why the UK of all places? It's very fucking far from any conflict in the Middle East or Africa. I'm not saying these people should be housed in different locations of Europe, but it is insane you had to cross Europe to reach this location, and you still claim asylum. Yes, this is an asylum situation, because I am going crazy. Now 55% compared with a year earlier, and the lowest level since September 2019. However, more than 100,000 failed asylum seekers appealing against rejected claims remain eligible for taxpayer-funded accommodation, but their cases are considered. They are training you. They are training you slowly. They are killing you slowly. Well, I wouldn't say slowly, but you know, it's obviously happening, and it's not great. It's not. I have to admit this. Blonde look is growing on me. It doesn't look that bad. Maybe that chick in middle school had a point. Maybe I should be blonde too. That wouldn't work in real life though. It's just a power-up, okay? Shadow Home Secretary Chris Philp criticized the government's asylum accommodation policy. Illegal immigrants should not be put in brand new homes local young people couldn't dream of affording to live in, he said. Especially when you're using money from these local young people. That means taxes. to house these individuals. Then again, if I actually said these things in the UK, I will be in jail, unironically. Shabana Mahmood, let's cancel her plans. Illegal immigrants should be deported, not given free housing. At least he's actually calling them what they are, illegal immigrants, which is actually correct. Home Office spokesman said, New Hampshire should never house asylum seekers. Earlier this year, the Hampshire Secretary introduced robust processes to ensure new build sites like Stoneheath can never be considered again. Do not fight the rule locations, please. Shabana Mahmood should explain in the comments why she has made this decision. Is she finally admitting what we already know? In which case, none of them should be free to walk our streets, but rather be in secure facilities awaiting deportation. Ah, this guy is so nice. What do you mean deportation? There's always a better solution. There's always a better solution. But do not worry. Do not worry. Everything is fixed. The government loves you. Everything will be fine. Because the UK government is set to reward people for walking 30 minutes a day. I don't know which is worse. Announcing this during the current heat wave, or announcing this during the current stabbing wave. It doesn't matter. It's not a good idea. The NHS is set to reward people in England. I'm a little bit scared of saying it that way. Let's go, England! Score some fucking goals! I like the memes. I don't care about the soccer ball, but I enjoy the memes. The NHS is set to reward people in England who walk for 30 minutes a day as they try to make them do a marathon a month. According to a report from the BBC, the NHS is set to launch the scheme in early 2027, working alongside the former Olympic medalist to get people moving. The idea is that if people walk for around 30 minutes a day, every day for a month, they have walked necessarily 26 miles to complete the marathon. As the marathon a month tag. Pretty simple, well, depends on your speed, I guess. As per the BBC reports, anyone who takes part will be able to log their walks online, or through their phone or smart watches, similar to how Apple Fitness and Peloton currently record daily streaks. You couldn't convince me to do this in a million years. Yes, they're collecting your fucking data. Again, it just keeps happening. Oh shit. Then you hate being right all the time. Oh shit, this rooftop rain from China is actually kinda cool. My mother showed it to me. I hope it works well. Increasing the humidity could be a detriment. But apparently it works well, so yeah, that's nice. Better than Europe. Fuck. Fuck. I hate this. I hate this. And it just wants to reward people for walking. But according to the okay, the first leg already has me laughing. But regarding the streaks, they mean each consecutive day people are going out to walk, of course. But since I'm a fucking idiot, I was thinking of something else. Don't mind me, I'm just being very silly. Nothing serious. But according to the streaks, they will be able to strike those who are achieving the goal and reward them for doing so. And those rewards will look like, it's not just yet, but incentives and discounts are being mooted. Some people have been saying, okay, are you gonna give them discounts for what? Streets, completely destroying the whole point of going out to walk? I don't know if that's gonna be the case, but it would be funny. It would be really funny if that was the case. Only time will tell, I suppose. As per the BBC's reports, the NHS will cover the initial setup costs, while additional funding could come from corporations who want to be attached. They will likely gain sponsorship of the scheme, and possibly provide some rewards of their own too, so they are also getting the information. As has been reported, the NHS is hoping that around 100,000 people will sign out to the scheme, which will also allow them to count as the biggest marathon in history. That's not how marathons work, but whatever. He doesn't even understand what an immigrant is. Government incentives for taking out different life goals aren't anything new, but they always draw plenty of attention. Over in Japan, single people can be paid around $125 for recent dating apps. That's different. That's because they need to make babies, and they need to pair up. It's actually not all sunshine and rainbows. You need to be an outstanding member of society, not just a useful member of society. And Japanese women have some very high standards too, as I understand. So it's not gonna be free either. And South Korean companies have begun giving staff extra pay to help boost the country's birth rates, which has previously slumped the new lows. And yeah, this is about the fucking cats we saw the other day. I mean, I guess you're gonna end up running a lot if you have to flee from the stabbings, right? Maybe they're actually onto something. Who knows? Clearly, I don't. Hilarious. Hilarious. Giving housing away, giving your money away, giving everything away, just to fuck you over. But everything will be fine, because they will give you some sort of trinket for you to go around walking 30 minutes a day. Great. Nice. Fine. You cannot... If we can only expect this bullshit to collapse... What the... What the... They were actually actors? That's crazy. We're gonna get into a little bit of a slobber now. We did a bunch of serious stuff. We can get into a bit of a slobber to wind down. It's a holiday after all. The best holiday ever made. Believe me, I know everything about holidays. I went to this American mod and I had to imitate the Orange Man. I just think it's funny. So I saw this the other day. I didn't know they were Netflix stars. That makes everything worse, in my opinion. Netflix Skywalker stars released at the felony charges over Catwoman-style Empire State Building proposal. Angela Nicolaou and Ivan Dania Birkus, not Beers, but close enough, the daredevil couple featuring Netflix's Skywalkers, a love story, were arrested after scaling the Empire State Building's antenna in New York City. The stunt unfolded around midday on July 1st, when two people dressed in black climbed to the top of the landmark spire, which rises 1,454 feet above Midtown Manhattan. That seems very high. I mean, you can see the whole fucking city from here. That's crazy tall. We don't have shit like that here. Not around me, at least. Maybe in other parts of the country. Who knows? Footage from news helicopters showed the pair standing near the top of the antenna, while holding a black banner with the white S reading, "But the powerful love beats the love of power. The world knows peace. Always we're understanding, because look at that. We need to clang on. And the politicians, because the 4th of July is coming. Bunch of fucking gays." The pair appear not to be tethered as they balance the narrow structure, kissed, took selfies, and began climbing down to wider ledge shortly after 12:30 p.m. Was there when the climbers appeared to get down on one knee before the pair hugged and kissed again. They can be wife and husband in jail, for all I care. The climbers were identified as Nicolaou and Birkus after the couple posted photos from the climb on Instagram. Good fucking job. Yeah. We might be committing felonies, and people don't know who we are, so maybe we should show them on social media and see what fucking happens. They should be in jail, in hell final at the very least. Oh my goodness. Fucking idiots. Birkus proposed to Nicolaou at the top of the building, while Nicolaou wore a black cat mask into immediate Catwoman comparisons online. Both were taken into custody without incident after returning to the ground, with charges pending. I mean... they are released. But that shouldn't be the case. Police took the two climbers into custody after 1 p.m, and no injuries were reported. It remains unclear how they accessed the antenna, which sits far above the building's public areas. Nicolaou and Birkus are known for roof-topping, a dangerous form of urban climbing that often involves sneaking into skyscrapers and climbing them without tools or safety gear. Netflix's Stedham describes the couple as renowned roof-toppers who travel the world climbing some of the tallest buildings on Earth. Their relationship and student class were the focus of Netflix's 2024 documentary Skywalkers, a love story. Directed by Jeff Zimbalist and Maria Buchanan. The film follows the couple as they balance the romance with their dangerous profession, including illegally scaling one of the world's tallest buildings for an acrobatic stunt. I don't think that really counts as a profession though, if what you're doing is illegal, but what do I know? The Empire State Building climb has now led to a court appearance, with Ivan Kuznetsov, 32, and Angelina Nicolaou, 33, brought to supervised release after spending the night at 100 Century Street in Manhattan. Judge ordered a low-level supervised release, and their next court date is set for August 24th. Both were facing several charges over the stunt, including burglary, reckless endangerment, criminal mischief, criminal trespass, violation of local law, criminal tampering, disorderly conduct, and possession of burglar's tools, according to police. Wow, that's actually quite in depth. The couple did not enter a plea during the hearing. Their attorney, Jason Krinsky, argued the DA's office had overcharged the case, telling reporters, as far as what they've seen, and I'm sure you have all seen, it was a message of love. It doesn't fucking matter, man! What the fuck? Just because you like them, that doesn't mean they're not criminals, dude. Jesus. What a bunch of fucking homosexuals. According to the criminal complaint, Cuthbert Snob told the detectives he had to do something special for his engagement. Fucking Christ, dude. Just book a ship or something. Not that. Police and Empire State Building Security are now reviewing surveillance footage to determine how the couple bypassed security. Officials believe they may have watched employees in this worker entrance to get around observation deck screening, while preliminary information pointed to a maintenance hatch used near the restricted upper floors. What a bunch of fucking idiots. But I do enjoy the memes. So of course, I bet your fish-head wife doesn't have these scans. Remember that one? That's a funny one. It's a funny one. We also have another article here which is somewhat serious, but I'll only bring it up because I think it's funny because of the implications. Quite hilarious. Also from Dexerto. Police body cam footage shows Jadian's arrest following a squatter incident. Why is this funny? Because this guy is apparently a Chiba Reviews hater. How curious, how interesting. Body cam footage recorded by police officers has been released on YouTube, revealing more of the incident that saw Jadian arrested outside the McDonald's in Michigan. Fucking Macus. And Jadian Armani Adams, also known as Jadian, was arrested on June 22nd for he, fellow streamer Skitter Jing, and an 8 fans arrived at the McDonald's in Woodsville, Michigan, to confront an alleged squatter. Since their arrest, members of the his community organized a peaceful Free Jadian protest, and he has been released on a $10,000 bond. YouTube channel Go Blue Cam has released police body cam footage showing the lead up and aftermath of the incident and seen by the arresting officers. Well. Not the biggest TV review fans, but it's kind of funny how all of his biggest haters are just a bunch of fucking lunatics. What the body cam footage shows, the officers first arrived at the scene, JD was still streaming. The officers told them to leave the property or would be arrested, and JD asked, "Do you generally not have anything better to do?" The officer then replied, "Do you not have anything better to do?" The incident escalated from there. Why are you escalating yourself towards the police? Seems like a bad idea. Maybe you shouldn't. Jadian's streaming camera given to a pedestrian who was subsequently arrested captured only part of the incident. Police body cam footage, however, reveals that the fan was arrested for breaching the peace, while Jadian argued that the pedestrian had not trespassed and that the charges would not stay. Jadian was then arrested for disorderly conduct and led to a police vehicle. While being escorted to the vehicle, Jadian protested further. "I am a multi-millionaire. I can take this as far as you want," he said, adding, "You'll bring into position and you will be arrested." No, I don't think so. I don't think you're winning this one, guy. I'm sure to tell you this. Jadian instructed his entourage to organize him a lawyer while he was placed into the police vehicle. Jadian argued that he was too big to fit into the back seat. "Fuck you, fat ass! Fat boy!" And the officer tried to force him inside. "Ah, do you really want to abuse me, officer?" Jadian said. "You're trying to push me, but I can't scoot. Fat boy!" I mean, he's kind of tall, but he seems to be rather fat instead. Not obese, but fat. The union officer escorted Jadian to jail. Jadian said that the police had violated constitutional rights and repeated his earlier arguments. At the end of the video, Jadian can be seen arriving at the jail at the same time as the pedestrian from earlier. Jadian greeted him and offered to pay for his bond and civil rights lawyer, again claiming that the charges would not stick. His pre-trial hearing is scheduled for July 13th. Again, the date. Funny. For more on Jadian, to get our coverage of the... No, I don't care enough about that. I don't care enough about that, you cannot convince me. Pretty fucking funny, holy shit. I do wish for my enemies in the Triangle to always be this fucking stupid. I don't mind the challenge, but holy shit, if I can get an easy wing, I'd rather get an easy wing. We deserve some of those from time to time, you know? Everything is fine. What else do we have here? Let's see. Okay, this is kinda cool. vtuber builds fucking size Game Boy emulator using an e-reader. Demonstrating actually playable refresh rates for your Pokemon Blue replay. That's actually kinda funny. Bet you never thought you'd see an e-paper display move this fast. I haven't seen the video, I got it in recommendations though. Listen, I love the vibrant colors and deep blacks of my OLED. What I don't love is the price tag, though in the grand scheme of from Apocalypse and ongoing events. The cost of gaming monitors has remained relatively stable, which I guess that is true, right? That's fine. It's not gonna help you a lot, but hey, it's something. As such, I'm always intrigued by more affordable lo-fi tech options, like e-paper displays. It's just a shame about that refresh rate. Well, I just stumbled across an e-paper emulation project that challenges everything I thought I knew about e-paper. I don't know what e-paper is, I'm gonna be honest. How the creator went in Zang. I just showing off their touchscreen. E-Ink Game Boy emulator with an actually playable refresh rate for Pokemon Blue. If you're using e-reader, you'll know that e-paper displays typically refresh very slowly with a noticeable ghosting, making them best suited to turning pages in a book, but not really gaming. We're talking about this delightfully chunky e-ink console. Painting Channel apparently saw that as a challenge, spending 4 years prior to the Game Boy project to create an e-ink monitor with a 60 FPS refresh rate. Long story short, Zang's device uses way more memory than a traditional e-paper display, plus a blend of grid scaling and different techniques to achieve a much smoother refresh rate. The solid project is open source too, should you fancy pushing the limits of e-paper displays yourself. Alternatively, you could fling some cash towards the crowdfunding campaign still active at the time of writing. I mean, that's nice. I don't mind the crowdfunding for actually interesting projects. There's a lot of... There has been some trouble with those before. I don't think this is gonna be the case. And despite the guy being Chinese. Zang leveraged that early experience for the small emulation device using a ESP32 SoC, and a pocket-sized M5 stack papers 3 e-reader. The high refresh rate driver makes the device pretty perfect for a Pokemon Blue replay. Does it work with Red? Or any other original Game Boy release. Game Boy Color emulation remains a work in progress though, for various hardware and emulator software reasons. I guess we can skim through the videos a little bit. I mean, it's fine. We have time, kinda. It also requires some creative problem solving, as the M5 Stack Papers 3 comes with a very limited speaker. It required audio engineering that's way over my head, but Sam breezes through an in-depth technical breakdown in the revealed video. The initial result is detailed, but underpowered and quiet. Sam cuts the device's onboard buzzer, so much like filtering iconic Nintendo soundtracks through a single crunchy down. The result is, well, I don't hate it. It's got character. Overall, this e-ink emulator is a characterful little device. Yet, it's fine for a slower pace. Visuals improve the games like Pokemon Blue and The Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening. However, more fast-paced classic games like Tetris manufacture an input device separate from the M5 Stack Papers through its touchscreen. The Zang admits Bluetooth integration isn't great right now. Between you and me though, I'm most interested in diving into the open source repository in order to turn Zang's Paperboy into pocket-sized machine for visual novels. That'd be cool. That'd be cool.
Recently, I got my...
Oh, come on, man. Why is the screen so small here, dude? Please. You're not even trying. You're not doing anything. Fucking hilarious, man. Fucking hilarious. Okay, let me bring the other crapping. Why is this smaller? Ah, because you have changed it again. I forgot. YouTube changed, so now the recommendations are fucking bigger for no reason whatsoever. Okay, we can see this thing in action because I have no idea how it works. Okay, that's paper stuff, I suppose. Okay, the guy's explaining stuff here. Yeah, diagram. We don't need to get into the nitty-gritty. We're not big brain enough for this. Okay, alright. Alright, that's not too bad. You had the layout for the Game Boy. Okay, create levels. That should be easy to do. Wow. Alright. That's kind of an emulator, I suppose. Emulator options. There's a lot of things. Okay, the paper doesn't look the best possible. But it's more about the novelty than the actual accuracy of the emulation, I suppose. Yeah, the the music is very limited for sure. That is fine. We get Super Mario Land, which is kinda cool. I mean, you normally would play this in the phone anyway, right?
Oh, and bad at the same time. The good part.
It tries. It tries for sure. Some more demonstration. Input. I mean, the moment of red is actually very good. It feels very good to see this gameplay here for sure. What about Tetris? I mean, you had the controller out. Sure, I guess it kinda works. It's not insanely fast, right? So I guess the kinda makes sense. Save data. It's actually save stuff. I mean, you have a bit of memory, I guess. Oh, that's actually save a state. Interesting. And I guess you can just load. Whoop. Very cool shit, man. Very cool shit. Whoa, 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 whoa. Hey, hold up. I just don't believe you. What did you see there? Tetris, Pokemon Blue, Golden Sun, Game Boy Color. From Maryland. Acoustic Flower. Didn't be egotistic. Oh! Yeah. I was wondering if it was actually the Toho song or not. But it was.
I think the end result is a pretty decent or usable Game Boy emulator for the M5 Paper S3.
Yeah, too much of a complex thing for this kind of thing, I suppose. But not bad, pretty interesting stuff. I actually don't know anything about paper emulation. That's very strange. But it's rather interesting. Not something I would use, but it's fine. It's technology. What's up this thing? It is time to celebrate, so we had to celebrate with style. Well, maximum machine gun firework launches 388 shots in under a minute. That's fucking brutal. A 388 shot machine gun firework is going viral as Americans prepare for the country's 250th anniversary, with the motorized Roman candles looking more like prop weapons than backyard fireworks. July 4th, 2006 marked the 250th anniversary of the signing of the Declaration of Independence, with fireworks, concerts, and patriotic events planned across the country. That has made this year's Independence Day season a major moment for fireworks retailers, but one product in particular has been blowing up online, thanks to its aggressive design and chaotic rapid-fire display. Extremely American for sure. I mean, it's kinda big for what it is. You would expect it to be smaller, but it isn't. Maximum machine gun firework goes viral ahead of July 4th. Oh, 4th of July. My appropriate. A post from fireworks creator TV One Time showing the maximum machine gun inside the retail store. Caption in the video: maximum machine gun just in time for America's 250th. The product, officially listed by retailers as Miracle's M435 or RC M435 maximum machine gun, is described as a fast rotating machine gun style Roman candle barrage. Retail listing said includes one rotating device and 2 assorted reloadable candles, with 388 shots and a 55-second duration per reload. This requires for AA batteries to power the rotating mechanism. That's kinda chunky for that kind of thing. But I guess if it goes really fast, you need some power there for sure. Ow, ow, ow. Oh. Okay, it's better. It's kinda hard to stretch when it's this hot. I'm gonna be honest. Still operating like a traditional handheld Roman candle, the firework spins as it fires, creating a Gatling gang style arc of sparkles and color. Defense listed by retailers include gold crackling, blue or purple strobes, and blue or purple to silver chrysanthemums. The packaging leans full into the action movie representation, with comic style artwork, bullet hole graphics, and the world's maximum machine gun written across the box. Retailers including Red Apple Fireworks listed as a Merkel branded Roman candle product, starting at $149.99 per unit, or $435 per case of 3. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. But I guess it makes sense, right? It seems like a complex machine. I hope you can buy the reloads, so you don't have to keep buying the big machine. Very fucking American, pretty impressive. If you're gonna go out using fireworks, don't lose any fingers, okay? Also, don't lose your life. And I guess we could finish out today with the obvious. How American am I? Well, there's only one way to find out. That is a BuzzFeed quiz from May 30th, 2019, made by an Indian woman. It just makes sense. I found another one, but it was about history. I was like, yeah, nah, that's not gonna be funny. You talk loudly in public. I mean, I don't try to be quiet. I was louder when I was younger, but I don't try to be quiet. I guess saying yes makes sense. Do you want to be seated at a restaurant? If it's an actual restaurant, yes. Because that's usually the norms. I don't want to be annoying. Do you take advantage of free refills? When we have them, yes, for sure. I don't abuse it, but I use it. Do you make a small talk with store employees? I try to avoid it. I'm not anti-social, but asocial. Do you talk to random strangers? No. I don't like people. Do you smile at the people you pass on the street? No, it's the opposite. Resting bitch face, which looks kind of demonic when you look like me. Are you sometimes overly polite? I guess sometimes. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe, I guess. You think you smile too much? No, I barely smile. What do you mean? Do you hang a ton of baseball caps? Nah, baseball is not a thing. Do you tip when you eat out? I mean, a little bit. Not as much as in the US, for sure. We wouldn't tip 20%, absolutely not. But usually small tip is fine. Especially when you go to the usual places. Do you add ice to almost everything you drink? No. The fridge is usually good enough. Do you sometimes go to the store late at night? We don't have 24/7 stores here. If we had a convenience, I could consider it, but no. Do you love wearing sneakers? Yes, they're very comfortable. You take your coffee / tea to go? Well, this is a trap question because I don't drink coffee or tea. I guess I'm gonna say no, I don't take drinks to go usually. Do you sometimes wear pajama pants in public? No, I know a guy that does. You got 48 with 40% American. Either you're a local who just doesn't partake in all of our strange habits, or you're a frequent visitor who's starting to pick up a few things. Nevertheless, you're pretty American. Pretty American! Isn't that God fucking damn it, what's wrong with these fucking clankers? Holy shit, you people are disgusting. Peace off. All of you. My fucking goodness. It's literally the same message just before. Fuck off. Just fuck off. We're back to this fucking bullshit on Twitch. We're back to this fucking bullshit. Oh, look at that. More fucking bots spamming fucking bullshit. Great. Kill them all. I just don't care anymore. Kill them all. I don't care. Get your gang and shoot them. They deserve it. I'm tired. I'm tired of this bullshit. Pretty fucking annoying. Pretty fucking annoying. It wasn't bad enough in kick usually. God fucking damn it. Fucking Dutch bullshit. Here we're celebrating me being pretty American. Yeah, could you do this to me? But no, just like this. Looking and say, I love freedom. I would get a gun if I could. That's probably kind of expensive though. I would get a blade. Blades are fucking cool. I'm a nerd, what can you say? Oh, brother. Ugh. I guess this is gonna be for me today. I'm not crashing out, I'm just crashing. I guess I'm crashing out all the time. That's also potentially accurate, maybe. Okay. Without saying too much about it, I will say that I think I'm gonna be working on something that has a lot of potential for content. It's AI related, I will say as much. We'll see if I can make everything run smoothly as I want it. But it could be pretty fun if it works. It could be also a great highlight video if it happens, for sure. I don't want to say, oh, it's gonna be next week, because I don't know how long it's gonna take me to have everything running smoothly or slightly smoothly for me to actually show it on stream. I know there's a bunch of stuff I need to work myself, which is a bit annoying. I guess a lot of people would find that surprising when we're talking about AI stuff. Ah, don't you just prompt and it works? It's more complex than you think sometimes, and I'm not great with AI. But I think I know what I'm doing. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun if you can make it work. However, the plan for next week, I can tell you. Monday, more Pokemon Diamond. Holy shit, more Pokemon Diamond. I did my grinding, I got a lucky egg. Everything is fine. Everything is dandy. We need to go to Candlehaven City. We need to go to Iron Island. We need to defeat Byron. At the very least, we need to defeat Byron. I think we're gonna get to Cantus Nuts. But it's fine. It's fine. Hopefully, we'll get some very useful evolutions, like Drapion. That'd be very nice. Wednesday, Symphony of the Night. Chances are we're finishing the game. 131% of the map discovered in 2 streams. I got the Balman Way, or Crusaegrim, if you only know the English translation. The original English translation. Are probably pretty strong. Like I'm probably advanced probably right now, so finishing the game I would say it's likely. On Thursday, I found something very interesting that we could do from time to time as a one-off. Oh shit, what's the name again? What is the name? I'm not sure. Did I load here? It's not gonna appear because I moved it, right? Yeah. Hold up. I know I have it, and I know it should work. It should work. I didn't try the gameplay, but the game opens, so everything should be fine. Everything should be fine. A fun game called Zelda Dungeons of Infinity, which is a roguelite using A Link to the Past. That could be interesting. I tried a roguelite before, based on original Legend of Zelda for the NES. It was okay, but it was somewhat limiting. This seems much more complex, for sure, so I'm interested. I would say I'm pretty interested in that. It could be an interesting game, and if we enjoy it, if it's good, I could go back from time to time, maybe. I think that's reasonable. And of course, Saturday, yapping day, as usual. We'll see what happens in this upcoming week. So that's gonna be it. Schedule will be up tomorrow on YouTube, as usual. So yeah, thank you for coming. I hope you have some fun. Don't forget to celebrate the 4th of July. Even if you're not American, why don't you? Filthy commie. Be careful with celebrations if you're American, because I know things get pretty out of hand sometimes. And as I mentioned, we come back on Monday with more Pokemon Diamond. Until then, you know the rules. Freedom is pretty cool. Always be free. Because at the end of the day, even though there's a bunch of fucking lunatics they want you to be in a really bad situation, you can just tell them to fuck off and take care.